And the button has been pushed.
What the fuck is up, every pony?
Alright, we need a last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z. In the midst of the carnage that was scattered about the city just outside of Papercut's shop, Peregrine managed to try to retrieve his belt, but failing to do so, we learned that it was picked up by a wandering merchant who we suspect is Zakora, but that is yet to be proven.
Zakora?
What's her face? Zakira. Completely different character. We left to do some shopping. Orion got a couple of spells. Some other stuff was bought and sold. And while we were gone, there was plotting behind our back. Party members Ring Dancer, Thumbtack, and the Metal Phantasm were plotting our demise to arrest Peregrine, betraying our party, and causing a huge ruckus. Upon our return, we were ambushed. A fight ensued. Ring Dancer was subdued, but not entirely. Peregrine managed to escape, but not without injury. And as we left off, Papercut was pinned and just about to be tied up.
There you go. That about sums that up. Now, does anybody have any input? Anything else, details they want to add before we get started?
Gird your loins.
Alright, well, Fortissimo.
That's always good advice.
Fortissimo, give me a perception check.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh god, oh fuck.
Let me get my character sheet.
Oh yeah, something, we got him, and guards are probably on their way.
What was that?
Something, we got him, and the guards are probably on their way. Because that is something that happened. Electra yelled out, "We got him," referring to the Metal Phantasm.
No, we resolved that.
They ignored us.
Oh,
Shits.
Yeah. The
Oh,
guards
this-
weren't on their way, if I remember.
this is for something completely different then, okay.
It was because it's because Blooming Corals, like somebody had walked out to go say we got it, and Blooming Corals was like, no, we haven't, and also Fortissimo, like.
We good.
It was a performance piece.
Fortissimo, it's not
Yeah.
hard to notice that you are being swiveled around very harshly by a big
Oh,
hoof.
yeah.
And
Hi,
you are-
Ring Dance.
and you are now face to face, and she is glaring down at you to the point where she presses her forehead right to yours and pushes you down.
Oh god.
And she has a very angry look on her face.
Yep, you're completely justified.
If you ever do that to me again, I will make sure that the color of your face does not match your coat in any recognizable way. Do you understand me?
Oh, I understand, man.
And then, as if just to prove the point, she raises one of her hooves and stamps it into the ground, and you see the concrete, like, crack.
Base.
And then she lets off, and you kind of flump backwards a little bit. She walks into the thing. She's like in a huff right now. And then, like, this is the door that we were signifying was like acting like the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Corals and Electra are still outside. That's right.
No, I don't think so.
We are.
Yeah, you two are outside.
Oh, okay.
As am I, but I flew off.
Last Corals was she was storming off.
Yes. Corals, where are you going?
But right now she's just storming off. Just walking. But angrily.
Angrily walking.
Yeah.
Very nice. Give me a d20. How angry are you?
I'm more disappointed.
Yeah, so she's 6 angry, and the rest 14 is just disappointed. I can see. I get it.
Disappointed in you, son.
Alright. You are angrily walking. Electra, what are you doing?
I just remembered what happened at the end of last session. I had teleported in front of Corals to try to stop her.
Oh yeah?
She's gonna try to walk around you.
Electra just basically starts with tears streaming down her eyes. Corals, please don't go.
She's still walking, no mercy. You gonna get in front of her?
Yeah, she's gonna try to.
You're gonna get,
Please,
She's about to get wiped.
yeah, you're gonna get wiped, but it's gonna be a hoof aimed at your face.
Oh no!
Oh god.
Give me a melee attack.
Wait, no. Strength was my drop stat. Okay.
Whoa!
It is a wipe.
All right, this is a wipe indeed, I believe.
This isn't what I wanted.
Does that
Yeah,
mean,
imagine
that
getting
mean-
bitch slapped. It's a bitch slap, not a punch.
Smack! Electra, if that beats your AC, you get smacked.
yeah, she gets slapped.
also,
He
give me
falls
a-
to the ground.
Give me a 1d3 plus. Give me a 1d3 plus your strength, by the way, because that's how much non-lethal you do technically.
A 1d3. What?
A 1d3 plus your strength.
Yeah, one of those 1d3 dice.
Yeah. Well, that's just a d6 divided by 2. That's all those are.
What was the command?
Slash
Slash
roll.
Slash roll space.
1d3.
Yep.
And then just add your strength.
Whatever that may be.
Plus 4.
Mm.
Oh,
What is your strength?
I didn't drop it as much as I thought I did. It's not bad, but it's more than I thought.
It's a
Plus
slap.
Well,
that's plus your strength. We meant your mod, so your mod would be -1. Your D3 was 2. Electra,
Oh, okay, then in
yeah.
that case,
1, yeah.
it's a 1.
Yeah. Blooming Corals does a whole 1 non-lethal damage to Electra as you.
Smack!
Yeah, Electra's just gonna fall to the ground.
You did this! All of you! As he just stomps away towards the closest quiet tavern. Not a loud tavern, because loud taverns are not good places.
Yeah, I bet. Who is gonna ask? Peregrine. That's who. You flew off.
Yeah.
Where to?
I'm absconding. Doesn't really... not anywhere in particular, just someplace that looks like it'll be a safe place to hang out and maybe try to disguise myself.
Give me a perception check.
I should probably get that open, shouldn't I? My bad. Okay. Skills. 19.
19, huh?
That's
Well,
a
you
shit roll.
You see someplace down below. It looks kind of inconspicuous. It's smaller, sort of. Almost looks somewhat like a business. That looks like a good place to go.
Hmm.
Yeah, the sign's a little lopsided, and from your vantage point, you can't really read what it says.
Is this pretty far away from the from ground zero,
Yep.
if you will?
Yep, it's pretty
Okay.
far away.
Yeah, I'll duck in there for a little while. Try to treat my wounds.
And you float down. You kind of find the alleyway in between it. Now that you're more toward the ground, you can read what the dilapidated sign above it says, and it just says the words "The Flat Truth."
I was hoping to be Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay. Yeah, I'll dip in there.
Nice. Give me a perception when you do.
Sure. There it is. Oh my god.
Well, you open the door and you peek your head in. There's not too much to notice, nor that you do notice, given that it's kind of dark on the inside. It doesn't seem like anybody's necessarily home right now.
Hello? Anybody home?
Wait 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. No response.
I'll step back outside for now and just close the door behind me and just kind of wait in the alleyway for a little bit.
And you do so. I should ask. Orion!
Orion's going to roll to maintain the grapple.
I'm going to
I
say
am-
you do.
And Metal Phantasm is tied up with silk rope. I don't have blood vine rope in this campaign. So Metal Phantasm is tied up with silk rope.
And Ring Dancer's looking this way. Stomps over to you. You need to undo that right now. He doesn't need to be tied up, and you have no right to.
Orion lets go of the grapple as a free action and turns to face her.
Don't even try anything with me. I'm not in the mood.
Oh, clearly. I did try. I tried to step in between you two, but you were just wholeheartedly convinced that you had to attack your own tribe.
As if I have one. Undo him.
No.
She rolls her eyes and she goes to do it herself.
Orion puts his hoof on top of the knot. What's to stop you two from attacking us again?
Well, don't do dumb shit, and I won't.
You're the one who instigated all of this.
And she squints. Yeah, because I'm the one that blew up people. Move out of the way.
Orion's eyes narrow down into anger, but he blinks very slowly, and it turns to sadness as he walks toward Fortissimo. Let's see. How long does it take her to undo the knot?
It takes her just a little bit. It'll take your conversation, I would think.
Okay. Well, Orion was covering it up the entire time, so she can't start until he walks away. Orion looks to Fortissimo and whispers, Fortissimo, can you control her again? Right now.
I'm not going to. I'll help you, but you're gonna have to find a different approach.
There's a hoof mark right behind Fortissimo where she'd stamp the ground. It serves as a very good reminder.
We can neutralize her right now if you can gain the same control over her.
There has to be another way. I can help, but I can't. It's not. I shouldn't be using that kind of magic to be controlling people like that.
Yes, you should.
There's no fighting going on right now. I have no reason to intervene.
In this
Orion
episode of Fortissimo has a moral crisis. Lucy does. She seems to be looking around curiously, but can't seem to find what she's looking for. And it runs between your legs.
Orion's gonna look up into the banisters and roll perception, looking for Thumbtack.
You do so, and you find no sign of the Thumbtack. Anything else you guys are doing in particular? As Ring Dancer gets the loosens up that knot.
Orion will return, collect the rope, coil it up, and then put it away in his pack. And he'll tend to Lucy.
Lucy is sniffing about, trying to find something.
No sign of Thumbtack though.
Not that you can see, and it seems not that she can see.
Okay.
She even starts jumping on Fortissimo and trying to look in his pack.
Okay.
What's he got in his filthy pockets?
Is Thumbtack in my saddlebag?
She seems to be looking there, but after a couple moments, she comes up looking wholeheartedly annoyed.
Oh, sorry, Lucy. Nothing in there for you.
Back over outside, Miss Blooming Corals and Miss Electra I believe. I guess we'll start with Electra because Blooming Corals went somewhere like a quiet tavern about. Electra.
She's just basically laying in the street where she was slapped, basically just with her head in her hose crying.
Nice. Anything else?
Nope.
This is your chance to act, if so. Like.
I know.
Okay. I'm just making sure. In that case, Blooming Corals. Give me a perception check, and we'll see what you can find in terms of taverns.
Oh, jeez.
Ah, jeez, dude.
26.
Nice. You are feeling around, listening, all that kind of thing. General stuff that you do. Until you, kind of start picking up on a place that sounds like it has the feel of a tavern. You hear news and fun merriment and things like that. A couple of laughs and things. It's not like the biggest tavern, nor is it the most busy, but you come across them. What the sign says, you don't know for some reason.
It's a mystery. Yeah, I guess the first instinct would be to walk in there and promptly check the place out. Yeah.
You walk in, and it seems that from the context of people's words, there's a bunch of people who are snickering and laughing at what seems to be the person who is likely running the bar there. The person behind the bar that you can hear seems to be looking out toward the rest of his patrons and simply saying, "It's not funny, guys." A couple of the other people are laughing at seemingly his voice. "Oh, but it is though. You sound so bored." "I'm not."
It's a funny fucking voice.
That is the that is the scene that you have walked into.
Okay. I caught between two paths. I guess in these trying times, one would need sagely advice, so they'd probably look for somebody with not necessarily a familiar face, but a familiar associate.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find anybody along those lines, I'm not gonna use tremor sense for it. Just the general sonar ability should, in theory, be good enough.
Now, from the outside, is something you wouldn't be able to have picked up on, but now that you're in, it's a little bit easier too. While there is a couple merriments and fun jokes being tossed around by a couple people, there is a couple that are just sitting in their quiet, toward the back. One of them kind of alone, one or two of them more alone than not.
We're in that direction, I suppose. I don't want to hang out with laughing people. I'm in a bad mood. Fuck happy people.
I think you and Ring Dancer would get along in this very moment as you sit down with one of them, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Give me a 1d2.
Ah, jeez, dude.
Ah, jeez, dude.
Two.
You sit down, and the person across from you does not react.
My host should gain a relatively good idea of what's on the table, just from kind of feeling around a little.
I kind of feeling
So,
around.
you come here often?
And as you start feeling around, seeing what's on the table, it seems like there's a couple strange pieces of board game, it seems.
Oh yeah, I wonder what that could be.
The voice kind of... what was your question again? Sorry?
Come here often?
Yeah, I gotcha. There's a small... Oh, yes. Yes, sometimes it's one of my favorite places to be.
I can tell you like playing board game.
Oh, yes.
Anything to take my mind off the current situation would probably help.
Oh, well, I'm always happy to help out, and help out in these trying times of boredom, and you start
I
to
also can't remember what the introduction I told you was supposed to be.
it.
I have it written down somewhere, but I can't fucking remember what it is.
Well, he does start setting up the board game regardless. And it takes him a moment before a slightly more inconspicuous way sets down what seems to be a very slightly larger piece than the rest. Same size and shape as one you might have.
Like I said, I have the introduction written down. I cannot remember what what I was supposed to say. So we'll just say that.
Yeah, okay. And
it's somewhere on here.
He will smile and nod indeed. I believe you, Fire King. It's part of the backstory.
I have 10 pages open right now, and none of them are helping. Anyway.
And we'll move down the list of folks here. Also, yes, KM. Why is he spectating while muted? I'm gonna run KM through the spin cycle. Get out of here.
Maybe he's listening to the stream. He didn't want to have an echo.
Well, he was definitely
okay. Yeah. But yeah, maybe he's just listening to solely the stream, in fairness. Yeah. Alright. Well,
The stream only has system audio, no voices.
ooh, gotcha. Well, then that's just on him then. He deserves to be spin cycled. On the front of folks that are around, Fortissimo.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Is this 1 second character?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
What are you doing? You've been approached by Orion, asked to do mind magics, said that no. Oh God. Something.
Right.
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
So I'm not gonna be doing that magic on Ring Dancer again, unless I have to because someone's about to die.
Well, there you are. There's your answer there, Orion. Ring Dancer seems to be helping Sir Phantasm back to his hopes. Not even giving him nods of solidarity. He just gets it back to those hooves. Ring Dancer turns around and she just kind of walks away.
All right. Orion is going to take out a piece of jerky from a trail ration and offer it to Lucy so that way he can pick her up and carry her away with him.
And she is happy to accept the jerky.
All right.
It's jerky time.
And Spirit's right here, yes, in plain view?
No, Spirit went to the second floor.
Okay.
Much like Ring Dancer is doing.
Well, Orion is not following Ring Dancer, but he is going to go look for Spirit.
You step upwards to the upper floors. Look at you. Let me put you on the upper floor first. Where is random pool guy? There we go. Bonk. Alright, I'll put you by the stairs over here.
Okay, and Orion is searching.
You could certainly give me a perception check.
Yeah, we'll do that. Skills, scroll down. Perception. 20 perception.
Not in this room. Not that you could see.
Alright. Going into the bedroom.
You go into the bedroom where some of the windows have been blown out.
And Orion's going to call for her. Spirit, are you here?
1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and no response.
No response. All right, Orion is going to travel back and check the secret hatch that's over here. Is it open or closed?
And yeah, Middle Phantasm told you guys what the code to get in here was. Do you remember it?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, he gave you a very specific knock to get in there.
Oh, no, I don't remember.
And you don't remember, do you?
Orion tries shaving a haircut 2 bits.
There's no such entry permitted, it seems.
All right. Orion's going to check both of these rooms over here.
Both of them do seem to be locked.
All right. Well, without gaseous form, Orion's not going to get into there easily. Spirit's not answering. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Spirit's not answering, so Orion's going to head back downstairs.
Alrighty, back down to the depths of hell, you. That's the first floor. There you go. Alrighty. And we go to Peregrine.
Yep.
You've been waiting in an alley.
I'm gonna do a perception look around, make sure I'm not being followed or watched.
Go for it.
Having a feeling there's probably a very angry pink horse coming after me at some point.
Well, you are just standing in the alley, right?
Yeah. I might fly up on the roof or something.
You do so, and after a brief amount of time here, what more catches your eye is that there seems to... You have seen probably what you suspect to be the same zebra once, twice, now 3 times. Seemingly trying to act inconspicuous. It's a little strange. It's just something you pick up on.
Does it look like that zebra that was hanging around in that tavern that that ran out when the smoke happened? The smoke jar?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
His cutie
What
mark...
are my options here?
Oh, what?
What are my options here? Am I like, is this alley a dead end or?
Well, not really. I mean, it's just it goes all the way through. It's like just goes all the way around the building, and there's a sidewalk on both sides. The alley is just in between the buildings.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm not like cornered or anything.
You're not in a shady part of town, but you're definitely in a section of these houses. It's like there's tall buildings.
Yeah,
There's taller buildings, like 2 or 3 story or 2 or 3 floors tall here, and this is like the building you're on. It's like the only one story building in the area. It's just kind of
probably in a good place to get fucking robbed. So I think I've got. I should probably pull up my hero lab.
But the zebra's gonna rob you?
No, he's not gonna rob me.
That's racist.
Hey. Hey. No, that's not racist. That's profiling. There's a difference.
Well, he does seem to be. After a couple moments, you're aware of him.
Hang on.
Him. What?
Just give me one second. I was looking for something. Okay, yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
After once or twice, kind of like looking, or like looking to seeing that now it's somewhat obvious that somebody's trying to
keep tabs on me.
Yeah, it seems. There is a you now kind of start to notice that occasionally he does kind of peek up a little bit and then look back down and just keep walking. He doesn't act on it. He just acts like he's part of the crowd. There are a couple occasional people that are walking by.
Yeah.
If you'd like to see what he looks like, I certainly have a reference for you.
Let's see that.
Posting it in spectator voice.
Yeah. Oh. Private dick. Gumshoe extraordinaire. Okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm still hanging, just keeping an eye open, making sure I'm not about to get jumped by, several gangsters.
And if
other than that, I'm just kind of hanging out outside that door.
He doesn't seem to be bringing anybody, and nobody seems to be coming towards you. The most that you'd spot that zebra for a fourth time doing is puffing on a cigar as he just kind of like goes into what seems to be a tavern down the block.
I'm still just gonna wait here for now, just until either I get some activity going on with that door, or this guy tries to approach me.
Sweet. Back to blooming. Unless Electra's not going to stop crying.
She's she got up. She's just kind of moping, walking down the street alone now.
Moping. All right, we've advanced. You are moping.
I'd be pretty disappointed if I got slapped in the face too, honestly.
And whilst you are moping, blooming corals.
All right.
The first couple
After-
moves have been made on the game board.
I'll follow through, and since I've never actually set up any rules for the game itself,
Neither have I.
yeah, works out great, doesn't it?
I call this the intelligence and wisdom roll game, where that's the rule.
Anybody worth their salt playing this game, who would be aware of the connections of said game, would inevitably, whether or not they win or lose, put their own personal blue iris tile in the direct center of the game map.
Oh yes.
And that's what I'll do.
There's a wry smile from him as he gives a chuckle. Ooh, I say you most certainly know what you're doing.
Yes, that's one way to put it. Yeah, so I actually deleted that quote, and I don't actually have it anymore.
You're good. And who taught you such a game?
My uncle. He goes by the name Irate. Some have heard of him.
Oh yes, some indeed. Moves a piece on the board. Some indeed.
Have you perhaps heard of him? Because I'm making this up as I go.
And he smiles. Perhaps.
And perhaps you have knowledge to share, or perhaps advice.
Oh yes. Well, he kind of thinks a little bit. Oh, I have many things that I could share. Many. He waits for you.
Just before she moves, her hooves are gonna come up to the table, and like her face just face plants into both of her hooves with the exhausted sigh. I need help.
And he stops moving his pieces on the board, like looking up. And what with?
When you all gave me this mission, I knew I needed to gather as much as I could. And it just so happened that the group I'm with now was the exact beacon I needed. However, I've come to find that being around them is much more strenuous than one anticipates. We have a member who is currently in the news. I'm sure you saw the street explosion.
Terrible.
Yeah. And were this anyone else, I wouldn't tell them, because I respect him. But at the same time, I don't know how much further I can go with these people. One member blows up a town block. Another member mopes as if nothing happened. Because I couldn't think of anything else to compare Electra.
As Electra mopes.
The group splits based on rather arbitrary situations. And I know I'm supposed to continue with them and live with them and use what knowledge of the world I find with them to help better us as a... But I find my mental capacities strained further than anything I rate had ever taught. I just need advice on what I should do, whether I should stick with this ragtag group or not.
Hey, yo, what's up? I'm back.
Hi, Theo.
Sorry I'm late. I didn't know I'd be home this late. Ooh, like 2 Ubers canceled.
You're
That's
good,
fine.
man.
Wait,
The person across the table looks towards you and just kind of smiles. Well, do you have any idea where they are headed, perhaps?
Well, that is in one way. That is the beauty in what they're doing, is that they don't seem to have a specific goal. And I know they're heading towards Bleakburn, and I was hoping at some point I could use that as an opportunity to meet our leader, if possible. But even beyond that, I've heard that they're attempting to destroy a lich, and I know the destruction of a lich would provide us with some much needed information on that. Perhaps goings on in the world.
And he gives a sly chuckle, moving his next game piece in a very strategic location. So, what it sounds like to me is that you don't lack direction at all. You know exactly where you're going, why you're going there, and so what is your plight, really? And he's like giving
I
that
don't-
smile, like he's getting somewhere with this.
Kroll's kind of sighs and looks down, and she's like, I suppose their goal is to defeat this lich that I personally have very little dealings with. And, of course, there have been rumors spreading that we might have, and I haven't been able to inform other members of this yet, but I have personally experienced some situations that suspect we might have a leak in the system. And I imagine our leader would be quite interested in that, hearing it direct.
He kind of thinks a little bit. Leak, you say? Somebody who's disobeyed the rules, we might say?
They seem to be using what we know to their own advantage.
Tut tut. Yes, I do think that that would be a very good thing to bring to Bleakburn, if you ask me. And sounds like, and he moves another piece. Sounds like definitely that you and your ragtag group of, and he kind of uses waves a hoof around in the air. Very mal-aligned adventurers, to an extent, are also going there. So, win-win, right?
I suppose, but how does one cope with being a group where you feel like you're constantly butting heads?
Simple. Don't butt heads. He smiles. Old people.
Yeah, fucking old people.
What more is there to it? Who do you butt heads with?
She thinks for a moment, very quiet, and she nods a little bit. She says, I suppose you're right. I suppose most issues can be worked through when one works together.
Oh, yes, yes, and though I don't know you myself, you certainly have a very, very confident demeanor about you. I'm sure you saying a few things, and you'd be convincing on your own. I'm sure you have the tools to do so, do you not?
I tend to be more inept with the earth than other people.
Hmm.
I think inept is the word I was looking for.
Well, I feel like you are more than capable of making your position known if they decide to ignore it. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Confidence, alas, and he kind of gives you like a little bit of a friendly pat.
Let me ask you a final question then. What does he look like?
Me as you asking me as a
Yeah, no, so out of character. She's asking, what she's trying to say is, what does the leader look like? Because as far as I sent you the description, but as far as she knows, she has no idea what to even look for when she gets to Bleakburn.
well, I haven't met the gentleman myself, but as far as I have heard, he kind of thinks. Well, actually, haven't heard all too much now, have I? I know that he is somewhat wild-eyed and yes, I guess that would be the word. Insane. He gives a little bit of a chuckle. Though, aren't we all a little bit insane at times? What good use is there in making sense? He smiles.
She's gonna narrow her eyes. I suppose you're right.
He gives a little wink. Ah, and look at this. And he places the final move in what he has on the board. Ah, I've won.
She gives a tap on the table to confirm that he's won, and then just has this look of, fuck, you got me. Old man took advantage of me.
And he smiles. Well, feel free to come back and play at any point. I'm always up for a good game.
She kind of leans back in her chair to think on what he said, unless somebody else comes back to, and then she gets up and moves out of the way.
Fantastic. All right, back over into the House of Metal Phantasm. Metal Phantasm, what you have missed so far.
What did I miss?
Yeah, we're gonna get you there. So what you've missed so far is that, it's pretty much starting session. You'd been tied up, and Ring Dancer came over and somewhat forcefully asked Orion to untie you. He didn't, so she did herself. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Is you've been untied. You're at where you're at. People have kind of gone around their ways, is either to cool off or to make sure that they don't die. All that kind of thing.
I leave immediately.
Where? Which direction? And after whom?
I'm going to I'm just going to the police station, basically.
And your goal?
Guard station, guard tower, whatever's nearby.
And your goal?
My goal? Tell them where the fuck Peregrine is.
Well, Peregrine flew off somewhere.
Okay, well, if Peregrine flew off, then Papercut tells everyone to get the fuck out of his house then.
Well, you're gonna have to go to the different players to do that. Though keep in mind, Peregrine, Electra, and Blooming Coral are outside of your house already. The only people that you know to be in your house at this moment are Ring Dancer, Fortissimo, and Orion.
Cool. Then I head over here. I want you out of my house immediately.
Okay.
Oh no, Fortissimo.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes, that's fair.
Do you want me to go through the door or the hole?
Should I close the door behind me?
Wait. Papercut turns around and he just says, "Thanks for being neutral."
Okay.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, that means you too, Orion.
Orion says nothing. He's staring blankly at the wall. He's not blinking, and he's just gently stroking the spines that are on the back of Lucy.
I expect you to die, Metal Phantasm.
Obviously, us meeting together was a mistake. I want all of you out. So I can at least resume some amount of normalcy.
There is nothing normal about what you've done. Orion slowly stands up and puts Lucy on his back and gives her the last little bit of jerky that he was holding. He walks around the couch very methodically, very slowly, and he keeps his face forward, not turning to Papercut. What you have done is inexcusable. Don't sleep too soundly.
I don't sleep.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Like, alrighty, Metal Phantasm.
What time of day is it?
Right now I'd say it's probably a little bit in the afternoon, not too late. 3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock. You said.
Yeah, roughly around there.
Okay.
If we're going by a 24-hour clock scale, like that would be the time of day that you would be about.
All right. Papercut goes up to a ring dancer, who I'm assuming is still over here.
She is on the second floor. That's why I put her on the stairs.
All right, cool. I'll go up to the second floor,
You do so.
and I ask ring dancer, "What are you gonna do now?"
She kind of gives a shrug. I'm gonna let everybody calm the fuck down. Yeah, it's shitty, but I think we've made the point.
Indeed, we have.
And she kind of puts a hoof into your chest a little bit and just says, "Now, you do see him. I'm not gonna help you beat him up again. I hope you know."
You've done what you've done what you wanted to do. I'm sure you got it out.
She rolls her eyes. I don't have an agenda.
My only agenda is to keep the peace.
Yeah, well, that's you. And she rolls her eyes again. I'm gonna go find her. And she kind of goes to that back room, looks out the window, and peers down the street where Electra might be moping. She's so sensitive. And she scoffs and goes off.
Well, unfortunately, she married a maniac, so...
Well, yeah. And she leaves.
She's already made her choice.
She's already going downstairs, my guy.
Yeah, I guess I prep for the night then.
Well, we're still going to and fro as to where people are going because groups are splitting the party and such like that. Who would have thought?
Yeah. That's all I'm doing though.
For
I'm just prepping for the
Fortissimo,
night.
Yep.
you have left. Firstly, start going down the street somewhere, and then soon after comes Orion behind you, signified by the token sound of.
Ah, Lucy and Orion.
What are you two doing?
Well, I guess then there were two.
Electra's out there, isn't she?
She's moping, yeah, way down the way. You guys
Oh,
both do
Ponies
see
here?
Electra down.
Oh,
She's a fast moper.
Yeah. One might call her a Maroper.
Is she walking or sitting?
She's walking with her head down.
Moping.
I'm gonna go over to Electra.
Yeah, Orion's gonna go to Electra too.
She doesn't even seem like you guys, or that she notices you. She's just looking at the ground, slowly walking down the sidewalk.
It's like, in her head, you might imagine the "How could this happen to me" song playing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Fritz just quietly follows along. Maybe he puts his head down too.
Oh,
Orion's gonna look Electra over. Does he see the slap mark that's on her face?
I mean, not really. It's non-lethal damage. Like, her cheek would have been red at first, but flat marks don't stay there for hours.
It was only 1 damage to non-lethal damage. It was as pathetic as possible.
Okay.
Fortissimo, you can certainly give me a performance acting if you'd like to act a Mopey.
All right.
Let's see how you can match Electra here.
I do not have performance acting.
Ooh, then it's just your normal performance thing. Electra, what DC are you setting for him to match your mopiness?
Knowing Fortissimo 20.
Nice.
Ugh.
It's pretty much just a
Alright.
flat charisma roll for you then in that case, Fortissimo.
Flat charisma.
Yeah. D20 plus whatever your charisma modifier is. You don't have a rank in that perform.
Right. Let me see.
Actually, 15. If it's a charisma roll. I thought he was going to have like a plus 15.
Okay, so D20 plus my charisma modifier.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, God.
Yikes.
That is the most jubilant moping I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it's like he puts his head down and he's like looking at you a little bit, like while he mopes, and he's like trying to look at how you're moping, but like looking at somebody
Laughing at
moping
you.
and not acting mopey is two separate things.
He just fucking laughs at you.
God, that's horrible.
Be like a nat 1.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, that was in that one.
Oh wait, no, that would be a nat 1 with no modifier. I mean,
Oh no. Also keeping up a tradition here.
Nice.
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 What are you doing, Electra?
She gives him this face. Hold on.
No, I don't think Maltese is here.
She gives him this face. And continues on.
Oh, God. Fortissimo gives a classic.
A classic. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Fortissimo's rah-rah fucking it out over here.
Are there any taverns around?
Give me a perception check. Ah, yes. You do notice that there is one. It's not too loud about. Seems like the sign outside kind of has what seems to be the a bunch of red laughing mouths, though no eyes, and around it just says the words "The Scarlet Mirth."
I don't know. That seems pretty happy.
It could be ironic. This could be where a lot of depressed people go.
That's true.
We should fit right in.
She walks in, sits down at a table alone.
You walk in, you sit down at a table alone. Though, if the others are following you, you guys opening the doors and seeing in, You notice
Is
that
the-
it seems a certain blooming corals. It seems to be standing up and packing up.
Mm.
She seems to have beat you here.
You beat us
Right.
here.
I'm not packing up. I'm just moving out of the way, probably towards the bar.
There you go.
Orion approaches Blooming Corals and stops about 2 feet away, so that way she can pick up his heartbeat.
It's gonna be hard to do in a crowd.
And as you two start going up to the bar, a very grumbly bar person comes over to you. And what can I help you with today? I hope it's not making fun of my voice, like some people I know. And he looks over toward the couple people in the crowd who were making fun of his voice earlier.
That's rude.
Tell me about it.
It's
Our specials today include what I would like to call the Easter Island Head. And he points toward what seems to be a drink in a very somewhat ostentatious looking mug that looks like an Easter Island head. Why it's named that, I don't know. I thought it sounded funny.
Orion takes out 2 gold pieces, throws them on the counter, and says, "Whatever's cheap and extremely drunk, or cheap and strong."
Well, that was a Freudian slip if I've ever heard one.
well,
Let's not delay the inevitable, Doc.
And he goes back, he starts pouring some stuff. Bad day.
No comment.
And he blinks over. Fair enough. Uh-huh. And comes back. Seems to have 2 little, he seems to have 2 of the same drink, though one of them has an umbrella and one of them doesn't. I made sure to take out all of the happy in this one for you, sir. He slides the one without the umbrella over to you, Orion.
Orion picks up both mugs and drinks them at the same time.
Well, he didn't give you the other one. He slid the other one over to Blooming Corals because he'd assumed you were buying her a drink too.
Orion drinks them both.
well, now to be fair, as far as Orion knows, Corals doesn't drink because it interferes with her abilities. So this is actually a very fair situation to be in.
Alright, so, yeah, Orion pours both mugs back at the same time. How much of it does he actually drink? He's a professional potion drinker, so he should be pretty good at it.
Yeah, give me a fortitude save.
Bam.
Nice. Yeah, all of it. You're
Get him,
good.
boy.
Nice.
Wow.
Now, I assume these were not a gold apiece, because I asked for something cheap, so there should be a lot more coming.
Oh yeah, he's starting you out light. Well, light, quote, quote. You now have 2 drinks. And he kind of blinks a little bit. He
Corals,
doesn't say
what do you-
anything, he just blinks.
Carls, what are you drinking? Water?
She just sat down, so nothing's in front of her right now.
That's why I asked.
Is he
Oh,
not
you
your
asked.
boyfriend, man?
I
I'm
slap one,
sorry,
I'll slap
sorry,
another one,
Sugar.
Orion.
What was that?
I slapped one of you, I'll slap another one, Orion.
Alright, let's do it. Keep them coming.
Kind of gives like a little bit of a raised eyebrow. And if you start getting too rowdy, I'm gonna have to cut you off. And he brings 2 more drinks back.
Orion shares the one this time. Gives it to Corals.
Just gonna swirl it at first, but then do the unexpected and just chug the whole thing down at once.
Nice. Give me a
And then
fortitude
cough.
save. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a fortitude save for chugging.
Orion's gonna chug with her. Oh, wow.
What is with you guys? and
Nice.
rolls?
Blowing all the 20s.
Hey,
Can't
we're
even
drinking
get
our sorrows away. This is important.
Never. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say I've never actually had to do fortitude. What the fuck?
You're very good at it.
I'll point out,
Hell yeah.
Blooming Corals rolled a 2 on that.
A 2, yeah.
Wow.
Holy cow.
He's got a heavy constitution.
It's about my reflex.
Yeah.
Get him, boy.
It seems that Blooming Corals didn't even register that there was a cherry in the thing until it was already down.
Exactly that sound.
Orion taps the bar and pushes the mug back forward. Then he turns to Corals. Hey, Corals.
What?
You ever think about the important things in life, like loyalty and where it lies?
You know, before I joined you all, I had my thoughts very clear on such issues. I knew where I stood.
Where did you stand?
That no matter how much they annoyed me and drove me crazy, that in the end, those who traveled with me would be my friends. Because I've already lost everything once, I don't need to do it again. And I would fight to the death for those who stand beside me.
Word.
But
You know, when
people like
what-
you,
like me, all I do is make a literal mess of things.
you think that's not a problem?
Oh, of course it's a problem. I make a mess, others have to clean it up. We have to keep moving. But I think I like to think I make the messes for the right reason, you know? To protect the people I care about. Like the people I travel with, like you said.
You know, Orion, she's gonna lean forward. Most of the time, you're in the right, and you help us a lot. And I have never once questioned you. But why do you insist on ripping bodies apart like an animal? Makes you no better than the wolves outside the gates of the city.
Orion lets a smile like slip past his melancholy, but then he brings it back. But he can't help himself and he smiles again anyway. Well, little lady, I'll share a secret with you. I've got plans. Plans to transform myself into something the world has never seen before.
That mutated thing we saw?
Yeah. It's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be stronger. It's gonna be more resilient than anything that anyone has ever encountered. I look at nature and I see it for what it is. It's predators and prey, all striving for survival. And it's that kind of mentality that's kept me alive. Sometimes I've been the prey. And I've been scared and I've been frightened, I've been chased off. But I'm tired of being scared. I don't want to be afraid anymore. I don't want to be shackled with some kind of yoke and turn into a pack animal or enslaved. I don't want to lose control over myself again, so I swore a long time ago that I would be the apex predator. And I would never be enslaved again. I would never lose control of myself ever again. Not in my mind, not in my body, not even to my very soul.
Let me tell you this. Anytime we've been in a fight together, anytime we've been traveling together, not once have I thought you less than an equal. And for all intents and purposes, and this is when you were a vampire, for all intents and purposes, you are the one person in this group that I respect the most. And if anything, your thing that you insist on doing is simply a quirk of your personality to me. I don't like it. I don't respect it. But I can live with it because I like you. I like being around you. If anything,
Well,
it's the simple act that you think that you are on a level that you can just do this is what I have an issue.
And the bartender is standing there with 2 drinks in his hand, just looking back and forth at you guys having this very nice conversation. This is why I'm not an adventurer, and he sets down your drinks. He's just keeping you supplied when he walks back off.
Orion holds his mug up. And then he remembers, oh, hey, Blooming, hold your mug up.
Okay.
It's not like a
Around.
super strong alcohol. You guys ordered something cheap, so keep that in mind.
All right.
Awkwardly holding it up, confused.
Orion clunks his mug into yours. Clunk. Bottoms up. And Orion throws his back.
But this one time, damn you ponies, you drive me to drink.
What are you doing over there, Tip?
I'm watching this go down, and I'm also keeping an eye on Electra.
And also Fortissimo was there.
You're keeping an eye on who?
Electra.
Electra. What is Fortissimo keeping an eye on?
Hearing familiar voices, her ears had perked up, and she began listening in on that conversation that they had. And she looks a lot better now.
Look at that. Happy Kieran. Looks like she needs a couple wipes, but for tears this time. Back on the other side of town. Peregrine.
Yeah.
There seems to that zebra that you had seen down the way, it has not come out of the bar since you saw him go in.
All right. Still no activity in the alleyway.
Give me a perception roll.
Okay, there it is. But okay. Finally, natty 20.
And I mean, you don't see anything in the alley though. You've heard a couple of footsteps out front and behind the building and all that stuff. Just people walking by. It seems like somebody has opened the door to the building as you hear the sound of the door opening, the creak of that hinge that you heard earlier. A couple moments later, a light seems to turn on in the window. Like one of the windows that's just facing the alley. So somebody has certainly entered that building that you're next to.
All right. Yeah, I'll try the door.
You go back to the front. You're knocking or you're just opening?
Yeah, knocking.
You knock. And there's a couple moments. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. And the door opens. And a very cute looking pink mare does look kind of left and right. She doesn't look at you, she looks left and right, like to the sides of you.
Hi.
Oh good, you're not an illusion. She smiles.
Should I be?
She gives a little clip clop, like a little running in place aloe animation.
Yeah.
She gives a little like that. No. What do you want?
I'm a tourist. I'm just looking around. I saw your establishment here, and I thought I'd I don't know, take a look around.
And she's already like going around you and like looking. She stepped out of the doorway and she's looking at, she's like examining you while you're talking. Oh, just looking around?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah. Are you? She stands up.
Well, I'm kind of beat up, but you know, some people aren't very nice to foreigners like me.
Tell me about it. And she gives a little bit of a giggle snort.
What does the weather look like? Right? Is it just clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Hmm.
And she kind of wiggles her hoof. Yeah, and what with all the explosions and all that stuff. And she
Yeah.
wiggles a hoof. Man, it's been a busy news week.
Yeah, I'd say, what is this place anyways?
And she like looks up and like points to the sign that's really dilapidated. You really can't read it too well. It's obvious. Look, point. She points upward.
The Flat Truth.
Yeah, the best news printing site in all of the city.
Perrin, when he hears it, just kind of shakes his head for a second. It was great. It was great to meet you. I really need to be going. This.
No. What? Why? We just met.
No, it's nothing wrong. I got some friends waiting for me. I was just checking in. You know, I'm just a tourist. I'm just looking around.
No. Come on. You've gotta come on in.
Oh God.
I have so much
fine.
to tell you, especially if you've never heard of this place before. Oh, we just had the most wonderful story about Dashing Dimple the other day, and she smiles and she's just having a good time talking.
He sighs. It looks like, I mean, she's clearly the only person here, right?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, he'll go in,
You step inside.
or lead in. Yeah.
And it's like the first room is just kind of like a take your shoes off area. Though, I mean, she doesn't really have shoes, and she goes in like a little bit, and she turns back and looks toward the other door. Just mind your head, and she opens the other door and kind of ducks in and goes in.
Oh. Yep. I guess I'll follow her.
And you follow her, ducking in under what seems to be a red string, or 2 or 3, and she lights up the room. It's like a couple with some with the spell. Her horn kind of glows up a little bit, making sure all the candles are lit. What's immediately apparent is that there seems to be strings tied everywhere.
Yeah, I just walked into the conspiracy theorists room, right? Yeah. Holy shit! Yeah, I'm being careful not to mess up any of her strings, because I know how crazy people can be about that kind of thing.
Give me a perception roll.
Sure. I really hope my face is not up there. 21.
While you don't see necessarily your face, you do see at least the news article from the other day that had your fleeting back when you had the Nightwalker's cape on.
Mm-hmm.
That
Just
string
act natural.
That string is connected to what seems to be a very old map of Estion. The pin itself pinned in what seems to be Criminile. And then there's a couple others that are around that aren't even related. Like there's one where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pins are connected. One with the word LOTUS, and then a couple question marks, and then there's 2 or 3 more pins that go from like the like Erewhon up in the upper left to Bleakburn. There's so many little conspiracies that she seems to be enacting it. A couple moments later, distracting you from this, she seems to have a little table of tea. She starts once she had lit up everything, she went to the back, got that tea. You look around a little bit, and she came back and with what seemed to be like a mithril cap on. Tea?
Wait, she comes back with a mithril cap on?
Yeah.
Huh. He's lost for a second in like a moment of narcissistic pride of, wow, I really have gotten around. This is all about me, I guess. And he kind of snaps out of it when she comes up. What do you have there?
Oh, it's tea. And she holds up the mug, and it's strange given that it doesn't look like tea. There's no tea bags in it. All that's in there seems to be like a little model, like ceramic letter T in both of the mugs.
Thank you. What's with a hat?
And she points to it a little bit. Well, why don't you have one?
I'd love one.
And she blinks. Well, you're gonna have to go buy your own then.
And where do I get it?
And she smirks. The blacksmith.
How much did it cost you?
And she kind of thinks a little bit. Oh, 1,500. But no. And she raises her hoof. But there is no cost I will not spend for the safety of my mind.
Who are you worried about?
And she pulls you in close to this. She drops the tea that she's holding. If you had your cup, you had your cup. She drops the tea and she pulls you in close. She says, "Them." She points like around the room.
Who's they?
She looks at you like you're insane. What do you mean, who's they?
Yeah, I really don't know.
She looks like she's about to waylay the biggest lecture on you. The
Oh,
world has
God.
ever seen.
Oh god.
What have I gotten myself into?
Now listen close.
Now, this is a story of about how.
Now, before we get into that,
No, we gotta
moving
use
around the
this
way,
murder.
Mr. Metal Phantasm. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about you. But you're muted. Unmute yourself. Theo!
Hey, yo!
There you are. You are at the place alone.
Well, let's see. What am I gonna do? Let's see, it's not close to nightfall. I guess I'm might as well start getting to work then. What should I build today?
And you start going over to your workshop. You do hear the little clip clop of hooves behind you. Very quiet.
I turn around and I just exclaim, "Who's there?"
And she blinks. Oh, it is I, the most scary villain you have ever seen, Mr. Phantasm.
Well, I kicked everyone out of my place. Do you need anything?
Yes, I need you to stop being so salty.
Salty?
She blinks. Yes.
Well, excuse me. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit salty after being abducted from my home, grouped up with a bunch of people I don't know, assumed I was going to make friends. Then they proceed to bomb the ever-loving shit out of the town that I grew up in and killed not just, people that live here, but people that I know.
She blinks and she kind of raises an eyebrow. You know just as well as I do that it was really only Peregrine. And she kind of waves a hoof. And besides, he is a bit of a hothead. Haven't you been the one to hang out mostly with Helio in the past weeks? Because, and correct me if I am wrong, he would, in this situation, urge you to have a little bit of forgiveness in your heart, would he not?
Well, I don't think I can bring myself to that.
Well, then you don't have to, but you should at the very least still see if you can make amends with a couple of the other friends who were not involved. I'm sure poor Electra did not mean for people to get blown up herself, and she is torn apart at the fact that her most beloved, and she gives these big fake, wistful eyebrows, has killed some children. Yes?
Well, I know that they had nothing to do with it, but they're part of that party. And I don't want to be there if Peregrine's going to be there. Plus, I doubt Orion's ever going to forgive me. He has trust issues.
And she...
And Electra,
And she kind of, Sorry?
She's basically with Peregrine no matter what.
She kind of rolls her... She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit. It is the way of lovers. I'm sure that once you find a person that you are in love with, you will go through crazy things with him too.
What? That's not a concern at all. And he just gets back to work.
And she rolls her eyes. Well, I would certainly like you to consider it, because you are one of the more level-headed folks about, and if I am being quite honest, it would be a shame to see such vibrant friendships that have been made disappear.
It's already gone.
And she kind of rolls
I'm
her
just
eyes.
trying to resume my life as it was before this incident.
She
And
kind of
I'll
she kinda-
finally get back to my status quo of doing what I can to protect this city.
and she kind of gives a little bit of a smirk. So, by choosing to defend this city, she says with wing quotes, you choose to stay here instead of going after the one person who is kind of the center of all of this cause.
And
Yes, that makes total sense.
Papercut puts down his tools, and he stutters while saying this, and he just says, "I want to take down the Nightwalkers more than anything, but I'm at least gonna wait until after I'm sure that I have time to do that on my own. I'm sure that, you know, they have their own beef with the Nightwalkers, and I'm not gonna stop them in that. That's something we can all agree on, but."
They are wanting to help you, Metal Phantasm.
I'm not sure if I can take all the collateral then.
And then she gives you like this like half frown a little bit. Then why don't you start being the shining example that I know you to be? It is not your job to change the world, but you can certainly start by being a good influence upon it.
Do you think they would still accept me after all of this?
And she kind of, she does kind of like smile. Well, have your guard about you, but if you ask me, and she kind of leans in, it is Orion who has gone to the tavern, and he is a bit of a drinker. So I feel that if you were going to make amends, now would be about the best time to do so. We all get a little bit more truthful when we have a little bit of Kirin special inside of us all, do we not?
24 people, though. I'm not sure if I can forgive that. I don't want it to happen again.
But then make sure it doesn't. And express that you do not want it to happen again.
One attempt.
And she smiles.
And he gets back to his attire and goes to that tavern then.
Getting there before you, however, Mr. Phantasm, is Ring Dancer opening up the door. Everybody kind of goes silent in the bar as they look over toward the newcomer, who looks exceptionally scarred up and pissed off. She just goes right over to the table with Electra, kind of sits down next to her awkwardly.
Ring Dancer does?
Yeah.
Electra just kind of looks. She's still kind of looking towards the to Orion and Corals, but she sees Ring Dancer enter out of the corner of her eye and kind of doesn't move her head, but kind of watches her with her eyes, and just kind of is giving her a squinting look, and she doesn't say anything.
What?
What do you mean, what?
She kind of gives a shrug. I don't know. You're looking at me weird.
And why wouldn't I? After what happened, you've got the audacity to come here?
She kind of rolls her eyes. Ugh. Just get over it.
Get over you trying to kill me and Peregrine?
And she squints a little bit.
That's not something you just get over like that.
And she seems to be kind of like shifting in her seat a little bit, as if she's trying to press saying very rude things. But she is remaining quiet as you tell her things.
That's all she's got to say?
Well, she seems to be trying to be moral support in the best way that she can, which is not saying rude things and standing next to you awkwardly.
Well, I'm not gonna tell her to go, but I'm gonna wave a bartender down and say, 2 Kirin special, neat.
And she looks at you. It's a lot for one person.
That's not gonna be it.
Out of character, I've been to like 2 bars in my life. What does neat mean?
Means straight.
What does that mean?
No ice, nothing.
No mix. Just Kirin special.
Gotcha. What are all the terms like that I should be aware of? Like, I suppose.
Neat
Straight,
on
dirty.
the rocks.
Okay, I know on the rocks.
Gay as fuck.
All right.
Fruity.
So, Ring Dancer just taking a deep breath. She lets it out. I wouldn't have done anything differently. But you did blow up people. And she kind of like holds up her hoof as if she's explaining herself. He did get damn near close to shooting me. Kind of felt it was long coming, in fairness.
Yeah.
Well, you have beaten the shit out of him before.
For robbing a store, yes.
Look, I'm not gonna get into the politics of this. I came here to forget about what happened.
And she looks up a little bit and over to the side. Yeah, I've heard drinking away your problems is not the best way to deal with them. As 2 Kirin specials get set down at your table.
Electra starts sipping on one of them. Well, are you gonna have yours?
She looks down. She's genuinely surprised. Isn't that yours? You paid for it.
No, you have it.
And she kind of takes it a little bit. It strikes you that Ring Dancer's never really drunk anything in a bar before, but trying to be nicer in this context, she does take a hold of it. Okay. And, like, starts sipping it down. By sipping it down, I mean she's taking generous gulps of it. Now I need to actually give her a check here. Because she does do things. NPCs of Ponies. There we go. I don't think I have. No, I do. Where is her fortitude? There it is. Where did she roll? Nice. And she takes it down. She gets a little bit of a shudder. You don't actually need to roll this fortitude save there, Electra, because you are a Kirin.
Based.
So you can just decide whether or not to let this make you look all Neric-ish.
Oh yeah, she's letting it.
All right, then you let it make your scales turn darker and flamier, and it looks awesome. Ring Dancer, sipping on it, gives a little bit of a shudder, and she seems like she blinks a couple times. You see this weird like Sombra-esque flames like out of the side of her eyes, but she doesn't like turn any more than that. She kind of like coughs a little bit. God, poison.
So what are you planning?
What do you mean, what am I planning?
Are you gonna stay with us?
Yeah, I don't care about Metal Phantasm's personal agenda. I just wanted to punch him a couple times because he almost shot me.
Yeah, it was him that was punching you. Or you yeah, my bad, shit. You were punching him. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple times.
I don't care if you stay or go. But the others you might want to talk to if you're planning on staying.
She kind of gives a little bit of a shrug. I don't have to prove myself to anybody.
That's your agenda. And Electra takes another sip.
Metal Phantasm. It's about at this time that the doors open. Aww. A paper cut comes in.
Whoa, that guy's back! I walk in up to the bar, and what party members are immediately visible?
Immediately visible seems to be a ring dancer, gritting her teeth and trying to be nice, at a table with Electra and Fortissimo. Over at the bar counter seems to be Blooming Corals and a slightly, at this point, slightly more inebriated Orion. I'm only saying Orion's more inebriated than Blooming Corals because Blooming Corals has an exorbitant constitution modifier.
It also helps I've only had 2 drinks.
That too.
Well, I guess I first go up to Electra and Ring Dancer
And Fortissimo.
and Fortissimo. I doubt Fortissimo has any strong feelings in the matter.
Fortissimo's got calm emotions ready right now. He's like...
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kingsman on the whole bar.
yeah. Two swords conjure out of nowhere. He's just critting everybody.
But yeah, I sit down next to Fortissimo and Electra, and Papercut's kind of internally kind of like, shit, this is a bad idea, this was a bad idea, this was a bad idea, this was a bad idea. But he manages to try to make a point. Sorry about Peregrine. I got a little heated back there. Honestly, I don't really have anything else. Let's find Peregrine. And after we take down the Nightwalkers, then we can deal with our personal issues.
That was to you, Electra.
I know. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello.
we hear you.
Yeah, no. Electra is staying silent.
All right, and let us know you're staying silent and just not saying anything.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Ring Dancer is like looking towards you, Electra, and then back to Metal Phantasm. Look, I'm just gonna call the elephant in a room. This is really awkward.
I'm not
I've
going to bring you to
never
Peregrine
wanted to
because I know you're just going to throw him in jail.
She rolls
Well,
her eyes. We're not
You
gonna
can't
throw
say
him
it
in
wasn't
jail.
deserved.
I'm not going to argue this with you anymore.
And Ring Dancer just kind of sets down her cup a little bit heavierly than she should have. She goes, "Okay, look, he's trying to apologize. I mean, I guess I should too, or something." And she kind of waves her hoof. But yeah, we need to get rid of these guys, and all of our personal issues can be resolved later. And she kind of leans in a little bit quieter, whilst Orion, just quiet enough that Orion wouldn't be able to hear them from across the way. Look, if I can be, and she grits her teeth, friends with Orion, I'm sure we can get along and achieve the goal that we all kind of got in this mess with together. And she turns a little pink, than normal.
It's gonna take a lot of work to regain the trust that you've destroyed. Paper
I don't
cut.
trust you either. But we both want to destroy the Nightwalkers. I think that's a little bit more important than the thing that's currently going on.
I don't even know you're trying to tell the truth right now. This could be a ruse. Maybe you've got the guards right outside.
And Ring Dancer raises her eyebrow. Really?
It's possible.
And she
Well, don't any of you have some sort of spell for that?
Look,
How about I
Ansem,
let you read my mind or something?
I don't want to look what's in your head. Look, if you want to work together to kill the Nightwalkers, it's a job. I want them dead just as much as you. I'd be willing, but won't be happy.
Strictly professional.
And Ring Dancer kind of gives a shrug. I don't really have friends anyway, so yeah, strictly professional.
Let's go over to the bar. And Electra gets up and walks over towards Corals and Orion.
Ring Dancer does as well, and though he didn't contribute to the conversation there and stayed generally neutral, she pulls along Fortissimo.
Yeah.
You get pulled along by Ring Dancer, whether you like it or
All
not.
right.
Come on. You get sat next to Ring Dancer up at the table, who is sitting on the other side of Corals, not next to Orion.
As y'all approach, Orion encourages Corals to hold up her mug again. They clack them together, and then Orion throws his back.
If this makes drink number 3, Corals is gonna like awkwardly sit it down because she's like not sure about this. She's never had alcohol before, and she makes it very obvious.
Orion's on at least number 4.
Nice.
It was just awkwardly sits the drink down. Like, am I supposed to drink this now, or should I?
Bottoms up, Corals. That drink won't devour itself.
I don't think you understand.
Orion taps his mug on the table again.
Another? Really?
Do you see any alcohol in this mug?
He looks over.
Neither do I.
And he seems to be gauging how, okay you are. How okay are you?
2 plus 2 still equals 4, doesn't it?
You could either give me a bluff or diplomacy. I'll give you either or. He seems to be squinting.
Well, I've counted 4 drinks, which is 2 plus 2, which is also 2 times 2. 4 minus 2 is 2, and I need at least 2 more to make it 4 plus 2, which is 6. Apparently, when Orion gets drunk, he sounds like John Wayne for some reason.
Damn, I didn't know Orion was so good at math.
Sure. Diplomacy.
Uh-huh. Okay. Give me your drink. Give me your cup.
Which one do you want first?
And he looks down to your one cup. The first one, sir.
Orion shoves the mug over to him.
And he goes over toward a tap. Now, those who are not drunk very clearly discern that this tap, given that it doesn't have a label, is likely water. So as he's pouring it, spellcasters in the party, I mean, he is whispering what seems to be a spell over the cup as he pours it in, brings it back.
Jesus.
You guys are more than able. Like, he's not like hiding it per se. Quote
Yeah, I'll
unquote.
spellcraft that.
Yeah. So like, you guys could spellcraft it.
Peace.
Even with that, you'd recognize this as prestidigitation. He's bringing it back to you. Here you are, sir.
Orion takes the mug and I want to roll a perception to see if he did any kind of funky stuff off in the distance.
Like perception? Like, what do you mean? Like in terms of sipping it?
Did
or
I?
what do you know?
Yeah, did I see him do any movement or you like fiddle with the drink other than pouring the drink that I told him to get me?
He didn't seem to put anything in it. He just seemed to kind of whisper funny.
Whisper funny, huh?
Yeah.
Orion's going to detect potion on the mug.
This does not seem to be anything but water.
Hey, Gary McDinglenuts. Yeah, you. Come
My
here.
name's not Gary. It's Norman.
It is. It is now. Hey, Gary, did I pay for
Oh.
water?
And he looks down. That's not water, sir. Take a sip of it.
Orion sets the mug down, and he puts the tip of his hoof at the very top of the mug and slowly pushes it over and over until it goes. Oh, what a terrible mess. If this were anything but water, you'd probably be upset with me. Now take a rag, clean up the mess, and then bring me alcohol like I'm paying you to do.
And he's like looking at the rest of you like, do you know him? like,
Hey,
Rupert
Gary.
just kind of like
Well, what are
face
you
this.
Gary,
Electra. Oh, sorry.
I've dealt with a lot of shenanigans today. The last thing I need is somebody fucking with my money. Don't steal my money. Just bring me what I pay you to bring me.
give me an intimidation check. That was kind of intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. Whoa! Nice! You're rolling good today. And he just makes this awkward attempt at a laugh. Okay, you got me. He picks up the mug and cleans it off and goes over to a different tap that is, yes, alcohol.
And Orion
Maybe one a little bit more expensive than the ones he's been giving you.
just watches them and smiles. His sunglasses just like slowly drooping down over his nose, and he takes the claw of his right wing and just kind of like draws a circle with the claw at the very tip of it until he comes back.
And he starts going down the way more quickly than not, trying to get everybody's orders and tabs in. Fortissimo, I haven't heard you've been drinking anything.
I have not.
Are you doing so now, or are you staying sober? Or you mean the DD?
I'll have a water.
And he blinks. Like an actual water, sir?
Well? What other kind of waters do you have?
He leans in and whispers, I can make it flavored water if you would like.
Oh, splendid. I'll have raspberry water.
He goes over to the water tap. He starts pouring the water and whispering over it. He brings it back to you. One raspberry water.
Thank you, sir.
And yes,
It
it does, as you take a sip, taste like raspberries.
Base.
I guess I'll have to write that down in my DM's notes. Fortissimo likes raspberries.
Yeah.
something that him and Thumbtack have in common.
Oh boy.
Raspberries are pretty good.
Although Thumbtack likes most berries, so if you like a berry, you have something in common with Thumbtack. He still hasn't been seen, by the way. Your familiar's pouch remains empty, Blooming Corals.
She has not even been paying attention to that pouch. She could not give a shit less about that pouch actually right now.
That is fair.
And as history has shown us, Thumbtack is always around.
Yeah.
He shows up precisely when he means to.
Peregrine.
Yep.
You have been led on for about 10 minutes now about various different conspiracies. The one that has taken up the most of her time, though, that has a lot of little pins everywhere, has to do with the Clawstone Academy of Arcane Training up in Erelon. And there's like 10 different strings going off of there, and she's going off. Oh, and it's the Sphinxes, and they, I am certain, and she like pokes you in the chest. I am certain that they know something that I don't. Doesn't that make sense? She waits for you.
He's just beak agape, like, yeah, totally, that makes sense. Look, I might have a lead myself here. What do you know about Nightwalkers?
Nothing. And she blinks. What? That sounds familiar. And she starts looking through all of her things. And then she stops for a second. Oh, I don't think that I've told you my name. What is your name?
I'm out of character. I'm forgetting a name. Hold on. He would be quick with this because it's his brother's name.
Tearsel.
Tearsel, yes.
What?
Yeah, as I said, I'm Tearsel. Yeah.
Oh, and she says, cool name. And she holds out her hoof. My name is Flat Earth. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Flat. What's an Earth?
Oh, it's like, like the ground. And she points toward the ground. Yes.
Oh. Okay. All right. Have you ever been? Is the Earth really flat?
Oh, well, when you make a building, and she, like, gestures to the building, you have to make sure that the foundation is really, really flat. And she, like, jumps up and down in place with all of her hooves. And so, I help the local construction companies do that. And I'm just really good at it.
Oh.
It's kind of ironic when you think about it, and she thinks. But I suppose that's why they call me Flat Earth.
That's your real name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He reaches into his into the bag of holding he's got now and pulls out the Nightwalker cape. Does that look familiar to you? And he points to the picture of. I'm kind of hoping she wouldn't really be able to piece together if that's him, but he's kind of saying I got this cape and it looks like the cape that guy was running away from the blast with. I'm just wondering if you had any leads as to where they hang out.
Are going so wide.
Oh no.
Like it's like if you would approach somebody who believes in all of the crazy things about Area 51, and you just brought
you show him an alien
of alien technology.
Yeah.
Like that is her face right now as she looks at it. She takes a deep breath. Oh, my dear Luminance. And she like look. Do you? Where? And she starts jumping around you.
But they near
Tell
the
me,
coast
man!
of.
And she starts shaking you a little bit.
They tried to imprison me, and I beat one up and took his cape.
She like gestures out as if she's like good to hold it or something. If you're gonna let her hold it.
Yeah, I'll let her take it.
And she like looks at it. She starts looking at it. Yes. Wow. What? And she looks over at. She goes over to her pins, and you see her. Like she has already in her bag. Like it seems like she takes out like a small spool of red string and starts uncoiling it a little bit. She starts wrapping around that one. And then she starts going across all the way to the other side of the room where she has that old map of Estheon. the pin that's in Criminal. Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And you said the name Nightwalkers. Yes.
Yeah.
And she pulls out like a small pen and starts writing that over the little island.
It's run by Fang Nightwalker, a crazed, I'm gonna say, priest, if you will, cleric. I don't know what the hell he actually is, but he knows this very peculiar language that apparently only members of druidic circles know, and that's about really all we know about him. Oh, and that he's a murderous psychopath.
My partner is not gonna believe this.
Who's your partner?
Oh, he makes most of the journals.
Oh, let me guess. Zebra.
Oh, no. He's not a zebra. And she tilts her head.
Oh, just never mind. There was some guy walking around outside. Looked like he was casing the place, and I thought maybe he was your partner.
Oh, no, that's not my partner. That's my investigator.
Oh.
And she smiles.
Okay.
Like as if this is the most perfectly normal thing to have. He's my private eye in the sky, except he doesn't have wings or a horn. She kind of thinks a little
Gumhoof,
bit.
huh?
What?
Gumhoof, huh?
And she nods. Yes. Although I've never heard of somebody having gum in their hooves, and she looks at her hooves. That sounds bad.
Well, I don't really know what you ponies would call it. We call it gum horseshoe, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And she.
No, gum.
What?
I was just gonna say no. Gumshoe still works because horseshoe.
Yeah.
And she smiles. No. My partner is the person who writes all of the articles. And she points to a stack of papers by the flat truth, which she points over toward the way. All of which are marked with a T writer upon it. And his name is Typewriter.
I'm guessing he's good at typing.
Yes. And she nods. He types very fast.
Yeah, you ponies are predictable.
He's not a pony.
Oh.
Well, he's kind of a pony, and she thinks. He's like half pony.
Hippogriff?
And she thinks a little bit. Yes.
His eye twitches a little bit. What color is he?
And she thinks a little bit. Well, today he is kind of reddish. And
He just kind of stops talking for a second.
And she continues thinking. And 2 days from now, I believe is when he likes to take it up a little bit more blue. And then 2 days after that, he likes to switch it up and be more black and white. And she kind of thinks a little bit of that. And I like the ways where he looks black and white a little bit more than others. And she starts rummaging around for things because it looks kind of cute. And also, he likes to look into some stuff right around over here. And there's like a small section of the room that's devoted to like a different color of string, and it's just a pin in the place where Wati would be on the map, and going around to different places. Stuff about like really old articles. Like these are like old pieces of paper that are like yellowed with age, that are pointing to various things. One article of which notates explosion on a railway, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that looks like it was tragic.
Oh yes.
Tell me, does your writer, your partner? You said does he ever look black, gray, and red?
And she kind of thinks. All three of them?
Yeah.
She kind of thinks. Not that I know. Maybe? And she kind of thinks. I don't know his color calendar.
Yeah. He kind of relaxes himself a little bit. Okay. Unclenches his ass.
I see the picture you posted at Spectator.
Yeah, that was kind of how he was. Is this my hit? Shit. Okay. He Yeah, just do you have any leads around here where I can maybe find a den of these no good bastards and get the authorities on it?
And she thinks, well, haven't I just gone over with you what all of my leads are? Okay,
One
let me
more
start
time,
from the
sweetie.
beginning again. And she takes a deep breath and starts going over
No. Just that one part. I just need to know where the cell is located here.
And where are you pointing?
This city. Like,
and
where in the city are they based out of?
And she looks. Well, I gotta do some research on that. Actually, and she thinks a little bit. I might, if you wanna, we can talk to my friend. And she kind of winks a little bit.
The zebra? Yeah, sure.
She blinks. Oh, okay. And she kind of thinks a little bit. His normal favorite place to hang out is probably down the road.
Yeah, I think I saw him go in there. Pub, right?
Yes, and she nods.
Well, after you.
And she starts leading you down the way.
Did she give me my cape back, or did she hang that up? Is that what happened?
She hung it up, but she didn't pin it to the wall.
He'll leave it here for now.
And she takes you over toward a new tavern. A new tavern indeed, which as you are looking up at the sign, you see that the sign of which says simply says the Brazen Bullet.
Huh. My kind of joint.
Yeah, and the sign kind of has like what seems to be a kind of it's made of wood obviously, but it's painted to look like a bullet, and that's where like the trail of which air that it's cutting through looks like that's what spells out the name, the Brazen Bullet. Yeah, it's very fancy. And she takes you in, and as she does, a couple people say like give like a curt nod her way, and she does this like she tries to do this finger gun thing, but has hooves and goes pew 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 pew.
He does his talons to make up for it.
And she takes you over toward a section where you do notice that there is a zebra around, and he's just sitting up at the bar, seemingly under a lone candle illuminating down. He seems to be brooding.
Suddenly, everything turns black and white for some reason. There was smoke in the air. Dame walked in with a griffin at her back. Yeah, he'll just go in and take a seat with them. I assume she's going over to him too, right?
Yeah, and she sits down. She's actually quiet this time. She kind of sits down. She has her hooves like together. And
Oh, thank Jesus.
she doesn't say anything. The only person to break the silence is the zebra. Looks over and just says, "It's about time you got here." He blows a little bit of cigar smoke into your face. We move to the people in the other tavern. Who aren't getting cigar smoke blown into their face.
I was wondering why you were keeping an eye on me.
I mean like the other folks, as in Blooming Corals and all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, hey.
Get immersed, bruh.
Yeah.
You assholes about to beat me up again?
No, like you guys aren't in the same. You guys aren't in the same tavern.
Okay, I just misinterpreted.
We're in the Squidward Tavern. You're in the Cool Kids Tavern.
That's what I thought at first, but then
You were in the Bullet Tavern, and we were in the Mirth Tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Scarlet Mirth, you're in the Brazen Bullet.
Okay, so I got lost there. What just happened? He blew smoke at who?
You walked into the tavern with Flat Earth, and she had sat down, and she hasn't said anything. But the person to break the silence was him, saying, "It's about time that you got here." and took a puff of his cigar and blew it into your face. And I'm just switching scenes over to the people in the other tavern.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a scene transition.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was a good one, I thought.
We need a sound effect.
It was
Yeah.
a.
I need my I need my PowerPoint presentation bouncing and bouncing.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say. You need like the Zoom cube to like change transitions.
Yeah,
Shitty flame clip art.
Yeah.
yeah. Now I need to know who's all been drinking.
Orion has a little bit.
Lecture's on her third Kieran special.
Nice.
Raspberry water game.
2 of the tiki drinks and refusing to go further.
Raspberry
No.
water gang.
Mama. Easy on a mama.
Paper Cut is unfortunately living in sobriety.
Oh no.
A very painful sobriety.
Justin got it.
A very painful
That's perfect.
sobriety. That's my life at Gone. Well, that was my life at Harmony Gone.
Oh, look at this cunt! Yeah, you wanna fucker? Get a fucker! Yes.
He was just shouting all night. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This crazy Australian guy came into the party.
Oh.
Yeah, typical. You remember him?
I remember him.
Oh yeah, this cunt's having a good time.
I wonder if that's the same Australian guy that kissed me on the cheek randomly during the rave.
Whoa.
No, no.
Come here, little baby.
Crazy Australians.
I remember
look
quite
at it.
I remember quite
Oh my
clearly.
God.
I kissed some big guy at the rave, and was that you? Oh, you cunt.
I think that might be him.
I still
Yeah, that
have
is-
I still have his C-word card here on my desk here.
I carry it in my wallet.
Yeah, that's right. He offered me a C-word pass, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude. And then he kissed me on the cheek.
That's the guy. Yeah.
I think. Meanwhile, you doing that fucking drawing in the party room as Baze?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that I was next to, that was the crazy Australian guy, by the way. That was on the bed.
You know a guy's crazy when even Meemly's like quiet while the guy's talking and just looking like,
Like, oh, no.
Well, obviously, I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure who was all sober in that room, but I definitely was.
You were high on life.
Yep. Yep, I was high on life and just drawing things.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh boy.
Alrighty.
But if you've had more than 3 drinks, especially if it is Kieran special, you are in the first stage of inebriation, which is on the cusp between being drunk and really drunk.
All right.
Yeah, but that video that pool guy posted, that's the crazy Australian guy.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna fuck it? It's fucking what?
All right. Are we back in the bar?
Yeah, it's like this is your. I'm just pointing out that if you've had some to drink at this point, I'm assuming you guys have just been drinking, and you guys can tell me how much you've been drinking. But if you drunk more than 3 of a decent kind of alcohol, you're in the first stages of inebriation. Fortissimo is not part of that gang. He is part of Raspberry Water Gang.
All right.
Represent.
So so Electra, Fortissimo, Phantasm, and Spirit just walked up to the bar with Orion and
Spirits over there.
Corals. Oh, Ring Dancer, my bad.
Girls gets pensive when Electra arrives.
Corals doesn't see it, but Electric looks at her with kind of a sad look and doesn't meet her eyes.
Orion, let's see. Where is Ring Dancer relative to Orion?
From where you're sat, to your right is Blooming Corals. To her right is Ring Dancer. To her right is Fortissimo.
All right. And where is Papercut?
Papercut is 1 or 2 spaces down. So it'd be like you, Electra, Papercut
Yeah.
on the other side.
All right. Yeah, Orion seems to ignore them, but his eyes are twitching just a little bit.
So, Papercut just says, "You're pissed. I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I'm just asking for your cooperation. We all want to destroy the Nightwalkers. Hopefully more than we want to destroy each other. We can settle this afterwards.
Afterwards? After what exactly?
After we destroy them.
I'll be frank with you. Oh, that cherry pit, man. You don't hear it because I'm on push to talk, but I am about to die. Okay, let's try that again. Listen. Paper cut. I understand we have the goal to destroy the Nightwalkers. And to be 100% frank with you, we're not going to be able to destroy them here and now in this town. We can definitely take out one of their cells. We've already found it. And at this point, I need to relieve a little bit of anger. And I'd be more than happy to strut right in and just start tossing some rocks. But let me make this clear. I'm not on good terms with anybody in this party except maybe Orion until we discuss this like adults. And Fortissimo, but you know, because he doesn't talk, so we're good. You're like we're chill.
Whatever doesn't get Fortissimo rocks to the face, I feel like is a good day for Fortissimo.
Well, luckily, that's exactly what I'm here to do.
And what does everybody else have to think about this?
Orion has stopped throwing the drink back, and he's just sipping on this one now.
That was an open question to those around us. Like, what do you all have to think about what I just said? As in, like, is this a good plan?
Corals, I haven't been a very good friend to you, and I'm sorry for that. And I understand your trepidation. I'm in for killing these Nightwalker scum. Without these terrible ponies, nothing that happened in the last few days would have been so bad.
Electra, I'm not going to apologize for hitting you.
I don't expect an apology. I deserved it.
I also have to say, I can't put 100% of the blame on you either. Because frankly, you've done very little to piss me off. If anything, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to be blunt with you. Your boyfriend has been extremely taxing on my mentality. If anything, he has been one of the main sources of my frustrations in this moment. Not just him, of course. It's far from it. I will not put all the blame on any single person. But we do have to face the elephant in the room. He has this idea of penance, or whatever he calls it this week. Retribution, penance, I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, he has this a situation that makes him think that he needs to repent like a good little boy. And then he turns around and he does it again and again. How many times has he said that he needs to make up for something that he has done, and then turns around and makes the situation worse? I, personally, don't hate the guy. I don't hate any of you. And I think everybody has a good side. If anything, I think Peregrine, out of this group, is the most open to redemption. But he also needs to put his heart and soul into it, and not just keep making the situation worse. But of course, I think we need to talk to him directly about this.
I agree that things didn't turn out the best way. I don't think that Peregrine meant for any innocents to die.
And I don't think so either. It was clearly an accident.
And I understand that it was still a terrible thing that happened. But from what I understand, he's been doing his best to make things right.
It's not just this, though. If it were just this, I would be a lot more forgiving of the situation. But he does such petty, ridiculous things. First day I met him, he blamed himself for that girl's death, and then she doesn't really know the relationship between them. She just kind of has an idea. He blamed himself for her death, and he clearly had nothing to do with that. And so it became this whole thing with this carrying this ring around, and this fucking ring. I was so close to cutting that ring off his hand, and maybe some other parts while I was at it, because I was just done. And I thought we were over that, and then he turns around, and he starts trying to steal from somebody who has been unconscious and sitting in a room for weeks at least. Days at the bare minimum. And okay, we started to get over that, and then it became a big fight, and it was a ridiculous back and forth, and then he put the fucking ring back on. That stupid fucking ring. Fucking hell, bud.
Fucking hell, bud.
You know, and we started to get over that. We started to move on like adults. And then he got his ego ahead of him. And don't get me wrong, I understand that the whole thing was a mistake. And when it honestly, I was one of the people who encouraged him to do it. I told him, light the barrel on fire. Because at the time, I wasn't thinking straight. And so, I will partially take some of the blame for that situation. I encouraged it. But at the same time, come on. Be an adult about the situation and realize that you need to move on with your life. But this is not a conversation I need to be having with you, Electra. Because, frankly, I respect you too much for that. This is a conversation I need to have with Peregrine.
I think you're right. Me being the middle mare isn't going to help anything.
Exactly. Now let Mommy Coral buy you a drink. Sorry, I had to get it out.
Electra raises an eyebrow.
No, don't. No.
Nigga, you can't just lay that one on me and expect not to say anything.
I had to get it out of my system. Shut the fuck up, bird.
Be the sad bird.
You're not in this scene. Be quiet.
Yeah.
You're in the
Anyway.
You're in the other heavy black and white scene with strange people.
We'll have our time, Peregrine. Don't you worry.
So, saying you're in?
If you're in, I'm in.
Electra kind of gets a little bit of a snarl / disgusted look on her face. As much as it pains me to work with somebody who's betrayed us, we need to kill these Nightwalkers.
And I have a whole rant about that too. Don't you worry.
I'm in.
Though you can't see them, Corals, the old man that you'd played the game with just smiles a bit from his back corner. A little bit.
Yay! I got Grandpa's approval. Yeah.
Aww.
Thanks, Grandma.
Thank Grandma. Fortissimo.
Yep.
Your fourth raspberry water in here. The bartender actually looks at you a little bit worried. Is this... Do you want another one, sir?
Oh, yes, thank you. I sweat it off, don't worry.
Bubbly.
Does Fortissimo's sweat smell like raspberries?
It's gonna, like... And like as you say, you just sweat it off. He looks to Ring Dancer as if for confirmation from this, and she just kind of gives him this look that's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he kind of says, okay. Goes back to get more water. Oh boy, oh boy. And it looks like the party's having a good time. Which I mean, I think we should go back to Peregrine.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Yay!
And you just had smoke blown into your face.
I get the vague feeling a lot of shit was just said about me.
Your
My
holes are
ears
burning.
My ear is really itchy for some reason.
Ah, jeez, dude.
Jeez, dude.
So, what do you got for me?
Oh no.
He blinks at you a little bit, and just looks toward her. Or he looks toward Flat Earth. Is he for real? And she kind of just like twiddles a little bit, and she goes, yeah. And she looks towards you, just says, don't make fun of his accent. You know, I heard that. I know.
Relax, buddy. I was kidding.
He squints. And
I had to get one up on you after you sat out and watched me for a couple hours, being a weirdo.
You were the one on top of the building, you see? I had to be careful.
Yeah, you know I'm not the metal phantasm.
And Flat Earth's ears perk up as if she wants to say something about this. But she doesn't. She seems to be kind of intimidated by this investigator of hers. A metal phantasm, you say?
Mm-hmm.
He's quite a character. You know him.
Yeah, so I've heard. What did he ask me? Sorry.
He's asking you if you've heard of him, or like if you've heard of him. Like.
I'm what I was trying to imply there was I've heard of him, but I don't know him.
And he kind of raises an eyebrow. Well, a lot of people have heard about him, you see. A lot of people. What makes you different?
Well, I'm not here to talk about the metal phantasm. I'm here to talk about Nightwalkers.
Had a couple run-ins with some Nightwalkers. In fact.
Yeah, me too. His appearance looks beat up.
I heard a certain unicorn came down the other day, nearly blew my whole operation.
Unicorn.
Yeah. Kind of pink. Says she likes rocks or something like that.
Pink.
Weird.
Weird. He raises an eyebrow. Then all you have to say to me? Not much for words, are you? I like you.
Straight into the point.
Well, either tell me why you're here or get out.
I'm looking for the Nightwalker cell.
So what do you need from me?
A location.
Kind of thinks a little bit.
Investigation. I don't know. Look into a certain character.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to read them? Find their leader? What is your goal?
Bring them down.
The whole
End it.
organization.
Yeah.
You have your work cut out for you, I'd say.
Well, I have a gun, and I've got
50
faith on
bullets
my
isn't
side.
gonna take down hundreds of people.
I'll take my chances.
He squints, looking more toward Flat Earth. And he's speaking loud enough, definitely, for you to hear, and very intentionally. Is he as stupid as he looks? And Flat Earth just kind of wiggles a little bit. No, I don't think so.
No, I'm just a Griffin who's very certain of himself. Former royalty. You know how we are. We're all full of
You're
ourselves.
stupid.
I've been called that more than a couple hundred times.
Well, if a lot of people are saying it, maybe there's some truth to it.
I'm still alive, aren't I?
He gives a little bit of a squint. Fair enough. Doesn't make you less stupid. Just makes you more lucky.
Some of the greatest people in history were probably stupid. Anyways. So you're gonna help me or not?
And he kind of thinks a little bit. What's in it for me?
What do you want? Gold?
He kind of thinks.
No.
Maybe.
Mm,
What can you offer me is what I'm asking you.
What can I offer you?
Yeah. I work outside the law. Private investigator.
Items, information. I bet you'd like to deal in information, wouldn't you?
Perhaps. I got
What are you
my
looking
own
for?
things to look out for, see? Well, and he kind of points to himself, on the trail. You ever heard of a Eugene Mango?
I have. I've actually met the man.
He's gone missing. Know anything about that?
Yeah, not too long ago. And, which city was it again?
The North Plateau Seaport.
North Plateau Seaport. That's where he went missing, right?
Mm-hmm. It's his last known location.
Leader of the Nightwalkers, Fang Nightwalker. He did it. And there were quite a few other people who got caught in the crossfires of that too.
Yeah, kind of considers this a little bit. Takes like leans back against the counter slightly. He's kind of like facing backwards now. Well, if I help you, I'd be willing to take on you for some help in any of your party. I'm sure you don't just deal alone. And, you better be helping me find this Eugene. He's a good man. I've met him myself.
He seems like a nice enough fellow. Where do you think he is?
He kind of thinks, well, that's where I'd like to take you back to my friend here's little board. And he points to Flatter as if like she's like super excited now. Yes, we can't talk here. And she pulls down her mithril cap just a little bit tighter.
Sure. Where do you want to go?
And he gestures with his head and just stands up and walks outward.
I'll silently follow.
And they are taking you back toward the Flat Truth.
Sure.
Now, upon going in, he ducks under the first couple like strings attached to the walls and things like that. Ducks under and they get the lights on and everything like that. And she's already jumping in. Okay. And the zebra is just kind of going to the side. He leans over. He's not saying anything. He's just letting her go at it as if he's used to this. So, Mango. Yeah. And he goes over to a. She goes over to like another one of those really old articles that's just pinned to the pin. Well, it's not really pinned. It's kind of like adhered on with like some kind of either magic or soft glue or something like that, or tape or something is holding it to the wall, as if not to damage it. And she kind of points to it, and it seems to be Eugene Mango around what seems to be a couple other adventurers. One's really burly. There's a couple others that are kind of like off frame. They're folded behind the paper. But like his face is like the one that's front and center there. It seems to be our Eugene Mango friend in his prime. And there's a pin next to it that's just kind of around a couple others. A lot of which go like from Eugene Mango and other places in the room all go toward what seems to be the number 4 and then a question mark. Okay, here's the thing. I've noticed some patterns. And she looks over here. Now, I don't like to consider myself crazy, but when I notice a pattern, and she gestures widely, I have to assume that something is bigger than what I'm thinking, right?
Sure.
Okay, so if I think, here's my theory, and she kind of leans in. I think Mr. Mango got himself tied up in some bad business with whatever, maybe an organization, maybe those Nightwalkers, and they communicate, and something about the number 4. I don't know. She kind of thinks. There's, like for example, and she goes over toward, she clops over the way, toward, like, that map of Erelon again. It's like, that map itself takes up, like,
Right.
almost a whole wall on its own, like, for
Yeah.
locations. Like, and, she goes over and she reaches up and she points to Erelon. In Erelon, okay, so they know all the spells and things like that, right? And only Sphinxes are really, it's mostly Sphinxes. Everybody's allowed, but it's mostly Sphinxes, and they're really snobby about their library, especially the 4th floor. They don't like people going to the 4th floor, and she quotes, like, as if she got kicked out of the 4th floor, like, they don't like people going to the 4th floor, or anything on the 4th floor for, I don't know, they just don't like non-Sphinxes going up there for some, and I thought that was strange at first, right? And then she goes over to another part of the map. In Bleakburn, it was the same way. There was an academy in Bleakburn where they keep all these sorts of different archives and things like that. And I was just looking around, and they kicked me off the 4th floor again. How strange. It's like they're hiding something. And then, and she
Like a nerd cult.
Yeah, yeah. And she's like pointing to, exactly. It's like they're all connected. She's thinking. The zebra kind of chimes in a little bit. You see, the thing about my compatriot here is that she's very good with the patterns and noticing things, you see.
I may know something about
where she's not supposed to. I like that.
But, no, I didn't take the Oath of Ryan, but I got the info. Anyway, so I'm going to, I guess, sort of, I'm not going to tell them the name of the society, but I'm going to say I know something about this, but I can't really disclose that right now until I get a little bit more investigation in it myself.
Well, you weren't, you were on the outside of the room when they...
I was share memoried.
You were share memoried, I suppose, yeah. I was gonna say, you were outside the room, he had silenced the room, and the people in the room are technically under a thing.
We never did a Geas.
No, they never did the Geas.
I wouldn't have done that.
We were sworn to secrecy.
The only reason they wouldn't let me be in is because I had the Ring of Truth on, and he said he would have to Geas me if I had the Ring of Truth on. And I said no.
Guarantee you, you're not under a Geas from that.
Gotcha.
We're under the honor system.
Yeah, okay. And he
which we promptly broke.
Kind of stands up a little bit, and frowns, looking at the map a little bit. Well, if he's got himself mixed up in these shady situations, maybe something related to that is where we would find him. You, points toward you, Peregrine. What do you think about going to Bleakburn?
Oh, actually, we were on our way there right before we got stopped here by Nightwalker pricks. We're on our, to tell you the truth, we're on the run from Fang Nightwalker, the one who took your sweet old wizard.
Well, I suppose it'd be nice to travel with the people who seem to attract him like a magnet, eh?
Well, I wouldn't say he attracted him here. I think that was our fault.
Even better. So what I'm hearing is that what you have to offer is your services in taking down and help this Nightwalker, as well as helping track down our dearest old Mango.
Alright, and well, tit for tat, you asked 2 things. I'll ask you to look into 2 things. Find me the Nightwalker cell here, and look into a certain Kieran named Zakira. Have you ever heard it?
And he like raises an eyebrow as if he'd never heard the thing. So, Miss Flat Earth over there, she seems to kind of sit down. She's thinking. Her mind seems to be going at 10,000 miles an hour right now. Zakira. She starts looking around her place. Zakira, Z, and she pulls out she goes over to like a really old and definitely looks like it's been opened more than one time filing cabinet, and she's flitting through Z, A. No, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, S. She pulls out a paper. No, that says Sunny. That's not what I need. She puts it back in. Z.
The last letter, sweetheart.
I'm looking. Shush. And she shushes you with the hoof, as if her mind works in very mysterious ways. Why does that name sound familiar?
She's an old undead lich.
And
Kind of wizard you don't want around.
And she kind of wiggles her hoof. There hasn't been a lich in ages.
Maybe you just hadn't found him.
Oh, no. There's one in the Clawstone Academy. And she points upwards in Erelon. He's pretty well known. Yeah, he teaches the necromantic arts.
It's a very weird person to have around.
Well, who else would you have to it?
Never mind. Just look into that for me if you could. I have a feeling she's a lot older than even most Kierans probably are.
Okay. She nods. And looks, the zebra kind of looks towards you. Holds out a hoof. Noir Blanc.
Peregrine and Adam.
Clap. And,
I'll shake his hand.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, she would realize I gave her a fake name earlier.
Oh, she is more than buried in what she's looking at right now. She didn't even notice.
Cool.
And looking at his compatriot over there, he just kind of says, well, I'd give her some time, you see. Maybe a day or so. She'll probably have something for you.
Alright, take your time. I think I have some things to settle with family members.
Well, you go take care of that then, eh? You know where to find us.
Appreciate it. He'll leave and try to go find his fellas, his good fellas.
The Z word. I'm just looking at Electro Y.
Not.
Z word.
What was even under that?
We'll never know.
Yeah. Oh no, it's supposed to say the Z word. No,
Yeah.
I can't do this. Can't do this.
It's an A, you Canuck.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's supposed to say the lawn.
No.
The lawn.
That's good.
Whoa. How did you change it to look? Oh, you got the same color. Okay. Okay, I got you. That was sneaky.
Clever.
I was like, what the fuck? Alright.
Base.
Well, as, you're going, where are you going first, Peregrine, to try to look for the rest of the party?
Knowing Electra, and I saw her being sad when I ran off, she tends to drown her sorrows in alcohol, and I know she's not in the pub that I just left, so I'm looking for another pub. preferably close to where Metal Phantasm's place
Oh
is.
shit!
Knowledge local.
There we go.
No!
The N-word. Oh my god. I didn't actually realize it was on the map.
This is why none of
Oh my
us.
God.
This is why none of us can run for president ever.
No, we
We
will
have too.
immediately
We have
be
too many
destroyed.
scandalous recordings.
We're
Uh,
certainly welcome to try.
Local.
Nick.
Wow, man.
Natty 20.
I believe that all Americans
Fuck.
should have the N-word card.
I can't believe Peregrine planted a fucking tracker on me.
I got the girlfriend LoJack on her.
Yeah, you're.
I got Electra's token.
You know of a couple taverns close to that one. There's one that says the Red something, maybe it's Scarlet. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, Scarlet sounds like something Electra would go into. I'll try that place.
You do that, and you flutter
I
down.
legitimately don't remember what the name of the tavern is.
The jovial something.
Mirth something.
You open the doors to this one that is labeled the Scarlet Mirth. And as you do, the first thing you hear is a very nasally voice talking to somebody over at the bar.
Oh, God.
A white and black-haired unicorn over there. Sir, this is your 8th raspberry water.
Fortissimo. I'll go find my crew.
You start walking. It's Ring Dancer who's one of the first to kind of notice. As she turns around, she kind of does a double take. She does meet eyes with you for a second, Peregrine. And
Sense motive. She about to fucking whack the shit out of me.
go for it.
No,
No,
probably
in
a -2 on that.
In fact,
So.
she meets eyes with you. Looks like she doesn't want to do anything at the moment, and quickly looks away, as if she hadn't noticed you.
He looks away too and looks for Electra and Orion.
Electra and Orion are more toward the left of Ring Dancer. Orion's kind of in the middle. Electra's more left of him.
Open seat.
Open seat's going to be next to either Metal Phantasm on the far left or Fortissimo on the far right.
I'm gonna go chill with my buddy Fortissimo.
Fortissimo. As
Yep.
the bartender sits down your 8th raspberry water, there's a creak of the seat next to you.
I figured that was you getting raspberry water.
You know it. Would you like one?
Yeah, sure.
Rest of
Sir.
I'll take one raspberry water.
party. You guys hear the voice of Peregrine call out for a raspberry water.
Do you have any red water?
Oh,
Orion's
fucking
ears.
red water.
Orion's ears twitch, but he makes no movement. He's still looking down toward the bar.
Yeah, I feel like that's most people right now. Like
You guys suck.
Ring Dancer is looking like she's like, if she had thumbs, she'd be twiddling them like really kind of awkwardly a little bit, like looking at the bar counter. She kind of still has like, she's only taken a couple drinks of her Kirin special that she had earlier. She's just kind of now gripping it very hard, and it's like she's like made the decision, and you just see her start counting it all in one.
Oh.
It's like she's taken a leaf or two out of Electra's book at this point.
Yeah, Perrin leans forward a little bit, looking to the right of Fortissimo, and that is what he said. You guys suck.
And Electra looks over immediately and jumps off her chair. Birdie! And she hugs him. Tackle hugs.
Bruise, ow.
I was so worried.
Yeah, I'm fine. I may even have us a lead or two.
What?
Yeah, I talked with this zebra and his eccentric news pony friend. They're
What, you went to
interesting
the
to say the least.
Fucking media?
It wasn't intentional, alright? No, it was more like a gumshoe. Private
What
eye.
is that supposed to mean?
Private investigator. You know, someone to get their hands dirty so we don't have to.
She's
Well.
still just looking dumbfounded at him. And What do you want him to do?
I'm trying to get him to find the cell of the Nightwalkers.
We know where they are already.
Do we?
Yes. That's where
Where?
Corals was. Right across from that first bar that we went into.
We know where a tunnel is. It doesn't mean we know where their center is.
I guess, but did you give him that lead?
I heard my
Yes.
name. What the fuck?
No, I didn't give him that lead. I just asked him to look into it. But I might have said we would do some things for him too.
What kind of things?
Mango, he went missing.
That crazy old bat pony?
Yeah, the one with a bunch of mangoes and shit.
Out of character. None of us. Who out of us saw him fighting Fang?
Like all of us.
I don't think Electra went in the building. Pickles just got flung out.
Yeah. I know for certain.
Plus,
that,
Fang was also a dragon at the time too.
I know for certain that Metal Phantasm did. Let's see. It was mainly Metal Phantasm. He's the one that I think opened the door, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta do an instant replay on that footage.
I may be wrong on that then.
I don't think Electra saw. She was outside. She saw Pickles get blasted out with a disintegration ray, and that was it.
I do recall being told to run.
Run.
Oh, yeah. No, I know for certain that Metal Phantasm did, because Metal Phantasm was the one blocking the door for Mr. Mango to enter. He was just like, "Oh, can I please go in now, Sonny?" And he was just like, "Oh, no, no."
Oh yeah.
And he kept blocking the door, trying to not allow. And Mango had to eventually coerce him with magic to move the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. I figured we all would have found out about that at some point, but
Yeah.
What, does he think he's here?
I don't think so.
Oh shit,
But-
I was muted. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, I saw him.
Gotcha. And
Dur brings up a good point, though. We probably shared the stories if one of us saw.
he thinks that dumb nerd cult has something to do with it. The Prime Directive or whatever they're called.
The Prime Directive.
So he just wants us to find Mango, or
I guess so. Said he fell in with a bad crowd or something. I mean, the guy made spells, did he?
does he have a lead? Or if we're trying to find one bat pony in entire
He
city?
mentioned 2 locations. The 4th floor of the Erelon Library and the 4th floor of the
Erelon.
Bleakburn Academy.
Archives, yeah.
Archives.
What? That's not very close. But we're going to
Yeah,
Bleakburn
no,
anyways,
far away.
so...
Well, there's teleporters. We just came through one.
Now, I want to just lay this out for you, Fortissimo, just so you know, story-wise. There is only one archives in Bleakburn.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where you worked.
Yep.
You know anything about that, Fortissimo?
About
My
the
good buddy.
archives?
About any of that nonsense? The 4th floor.
I mean, I worked in the music wing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's one big building. So there is a music side, but there's still a 4th floor across the whole building.
And the music wing wasn't on that floor, I presume.
Yeah, but if you wanted to give me a knowledge local of Bleakburn and that, any information about that, you're certainly more than welcome.
Yeah, okay.
All right, you get 3 questions about the Bleakburn archives.
Oh boy. What's so special about the 4th floor of the Bleakburn Archive?
The 4th floor, typically only employees are allowed in there, and what seems to be sphinxes, for the most part.
Sphinxes.
Yes, you were allowed there on a couple times, just to either pass through and things like that, but you definitely got shushed out more quickly than not.
Interesting. And,
Sounds like a place that wouldn't like griffins to be.
yeah.
We should go there.
Yeah, let's go to the archives, everybody.
Do you have another question?
You
I've
got
a
2 more
couple-
questions.
2 more questions left here. Hmm.
Ask about the sounds of torture you heard that one night.
Anything come to mind? Anything you guys
I-
want? Just about
Yeah,
that?
any questions about the archives from the group?
Figures of importance.
Always a good one.
Porn section.
Oh, like who runs the 4th level?
Well, nobody particularly runs the 4th level, though there is somebody who's somewhat, there's a decent amount, like, that's the thing, is that the archives themselves, there are rooms in there that they actually run classes. You do know that one of the higher figures of importance there seems to be what almost can be presumed to be a very mad old man.
Oh, fucking Amden.
Very
No, I
mad
think
old,
Hamden is dead.
a very mad old
You
man
never know.
who typically he has his studies typically end in failure. You actually took you were close to taking one of the classes with him. More out of curiosity than anything, I feel.
Must have tenure.
Though yeah, a lot of people fail. Though the people that do tend to pass that class turn out to be some of the best known spellcasters of the land. In fact, the one lich who teaches over in the Clawstone Academy of Arcane Arts and Training in Erelon had studied under him.
Actually, I have a question worth asking.
Yeah.
What is inside the room on the 4th floor, second door to the right?
Have I been there?
Gay porn.
You haven't been that in detail, though. That was one area where it seemed most of these sphinxes were hanging out.
Oh,
Aha.
oh boy.
My
So it is
suspicions
gay
were
porn.
correct.
And that is not like a haha fact. Like that was a very direct question. Yes, that is the very direct answer.
Okay.
So, let's give me some healing, and then let's go raid some Nightwalkers.
Maybe we should find a cleric.
I'm afraid I pissed off the cleric who would heal me.
You pissed off just the cleric, he says.
Orion, how long will it take you to make some healing potions to heal us all?
It'll take me a day.
I have to get rid
I
of
can
burn
prepare
by
them.
sleeping like a bitch.
Well,
I can
let's
prepare
sleep.
them tomorrow.
And Rain Dancer.
Rooms.
Rain Dancer next to you, Peregrine, kind of reaches back. Seems to be pulling something out of her little satchel underneath her cape there. It seems to be like a small red bottle, and she kind of just slides it down the way over to you. Don't expect me to say sorry more than that.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't have to say sorry if it works well enough to get me back to where I was.
Not that good.
He uncorks it and drinks it.
And it's a potion of cure moderate.
Alright. That was it
Roll
44?
2d8.
2d8 plus
2d8.
2.
No, it's minimum caster, so 2d8 plus 3.
Oh, that's right, plus 3.
12.
Oh, I thought I rolled. Okay.
My bad.
Back to 12. Which one am I taking?
You could use yours.
Right. Alright. Well, I'm not at half yet, so, hey, bartender.
And he looks over. You want more raspberry water for you too, sir?
Not necessarily raspberry, but I do want something red. You have a first aid kit? You have healing potions, anything like that?
Do I look like an alchemy store to you?
No, but you do look like a drug addict.
Oh my god.
He blinks, and the people behind you guys that were snickering at his accent and the way he sounded start like guffawing. Most of them are griffins. I'll be real with you. And like one of them falls out of the back of his chair a little bit, and he's like making bird sounds with how much he's laughing. And
Aw.
the bartender looks back. I'm not a drug addict. My name is Norman, and I'm a normal Persian, not drug addict. Thank you very much.
You know, they don't like it when you say that at the AA meetings.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that was a bit far, my friend. I'm sorry. I apologize. Do you have any healing potions that I could buy from you?
His feathers foof up, and he looks a little offended. I expect a full apology more than that.
I mean, what else can I say other than I'm sorry?
And he thinks a little bit. No, you're correct. He kind of thinks a little bit. I'm sorry for being so blunt. And he goes back over toward his drinking station, and he starts pouring like another water. He's kind of waving over a little bit. Here, have this as an apology drink, sir.
Thank you.
I'm gonna spellcraft the wave.
Go for it.
Natty 1, here we come. Okay.
Definitely press the decision.
Okay, Electra doesn't say anything.
I'll drink it.
It tastes like shit. Like literal actual shit.
And then I throw it in his face. I mean, not throw the glass, I mean the water, like, you know, sling it at him. Try to land it in his mouth.
I used the wrong mix. My bad, sir. And he gives this like sarcastic little curtsy.
Oh. Well, that's a damn shame, isn't it? Here I was with my 700 gold. I really needed some health potions. All right.
Come on, Peregrine. I know another place that'll sell us some real potions.
Are there any utensils or anything like that on the table?
It's a bar, so no. Not a restaurant.
All right. Shit. I was gonna try to intimidate him by chewing a spoon into a ball and spitting it out, and then asking for the potion for Peregrine, but shit. Is there anything metal around me I can fucking chew up?
It's all good. Peregrine's walking out of here with Electra anyway. If we're gonna go, actually, Fortissimo, all of you, come on, let's go to There's a place nearby that sells. This weird guy sells a bunch of scrolls and potions and shit.
Oh, we're going there again?
Yeah, we need to get you some scrolls of healing, so you can learn how to heal people.
And I mean, he did tell you that this was not an alchemy shop. Like, he doesn't sell potions. But yeah, if you guys are going to the turret.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turret.
Orion finally speaks up and he says, "So this is what we're reduced to? We're just going to carry on as if nothing happened?"
No, Ryan, we'll deal with it soon. I would just like to not be at beat the fuck up right now. We can talk about it after we figure this whole shit out.
What is there to talk about?
I mean, I don't know, Ryan. There's something clearly you want to talk about. What is it? I got punched a couple times. You didn't. It's just.
Oh, on the contrary, I took punches for you. I brushed him off, but I took him for you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not what I meant by that.
Ring Dancer, you were clearly unable to see reason. There was no talking to you. Phantasm, pardon me. Paper Cut, you the exact same way. There was no talking it out. There was no reasoning with you. There was no compromise. You betrayed your tribe.
I don't have a tribe, firstly. And she holds up her.
You guys aren't my tribe.
Then why are you here?
To destroy the Nightwalkers. Because they forced us together.
And that's what I propose we get done. So, please. We can kill each other later.
And Ring Dancer just come up next to you, Orion, and just says, "Look, if I could get over the stuff that happened on that island," and she kind of like vaguely gestures knowingly the day when there was some very near deaths.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get over this one thing. Okay?
So we should just get over it. And Orion's ears that were folded back just perk straight up, and he smiles really big.
And she rolls her eyes a little bit. Yeah, we should. Don't get creepy with it.
Well, okay. Let's get over it. And Orion's going to take the remainder of his drink and he's going to throw it back. We can be friends until all this is over. And we should always trust our friends, right? And Orion throws out his hoof in front of Ring Dancer.
And she kind of vaguely...
Honestly, I'm not getting over it.
She vaguely taps it a little bit and just says, yeah, I suppose.
And when she taps it, Orion grabs it from the front and behind like a clasp, and he starts shaking her hoof.
And she seems to be grinning and bearing it right now for the sake of not causing more problems, though she's very clearly not liking it.
And Orion's got a big toothy smile on his face. Don't worry, Ring Dancer. You'll never live to regret it. And then he just taps her on the shoulder.
Oh, God.
And then he walks over to walks over to Paper Cut. Friends, holds out his hoof.
Not friends, but
Not
party
friends?
members. And then he holds out his hoof. I'm not asking you to get over it. I'm not getting over it.
Oh, but we should. It's for the benefit of the party. Friends.
Why do I feel like you're being sarcastic?
Nah. It's just the alcohol.
I'm have to roll a what was that?
Sense motive?
Yeah.
Sense motive, yeah.
I think Ring Dancer's gonna be rolling sense motive too. Me as a DM is rolling sense motive. What are you talking about?
Oh boy.
Alright, now for Ring Dancer sense motive.
Wow.
Paper Cut, you get the sense that he's being genuine just under the effects of alcohol. Ring Dancer, on the other hand, is probably getting the hairs on her back to stand straight up.
Like in what way? Like something's off, he's lying, what's his motive?
Yeah, Orion clearly is not being completely genuine and straightforward.
She's pushing back those feelings, it seems, for now. Not to say that she's not being wary, she's just making more fights right now. Does not seem like in the best interest of everybody.
Paper Cut just says, well, I'll note your compliance. And he shakes your hand.
And Orion clasps Paper Cut's hoof in the exact same way and shakes it up and down. Always trust your friends.
Paper Cut doesn't trust anyone.
Neither does Ring Dancer.
Neither do I anymore.
Oh no.
Hey, Corals. Yeah, let's go on ahead and get to the terror first.
Well, I was actually going to suggest, let's do the tarot first. Yeah,
What are we doing first?
Tarot.
Tarot, parrot. Tearing it up. That's where we're at. You guys walk over to the store, and I mean, you guys know it well enough to figure out where it is. And there it is, the turret. Doors are closed, all the windows drawn. It's as intimidating as ever.
Alright, who wants to go into this creepy fuck's place again?
Orion opens the door and kind of wobbles in.
You wobble. Wobble. Oh! Welcome. Oh, a deep
I suppose we all walk in.
Electra wobbles into.
I'm perfectly fine, but I ain't going in that place. That place is fucking cursed. Actually.
And he as you guys, the rest of you guys can walk in. Are you his designated party? Haha.
I'll actually wait out here with Corals. I'm just gonna mention to them. You remember healing scrolls.
The place is fucking cursed, man. I ain't going in that fucking place.
It's pretty weird.
It's fucking weird, man. Giving me bad vibes. He didn't pass his vibe check.
I told these guys I can heal them tomorrow because I'm good at that, but they don't want to wait till tomorrow because they're a bunch of pussies.
What do the rest of you have to say about this?
I think is it who's in the store? Like
all of you except me and Corals.
Okay.
This is a voice out of the darkness forward. Like, can't see who's saying it directly.
You gave us good advice before, so.
Oh.
Do you have any more?
Oh, advice. Well, advice comes with a price. Yes.
What is your price?
Well, he kind of thinks a little bit. Well, when the advice is asked for, of course, and you can only assume that he is smiling to himself. Depends. How accurate would you like it to be?
Does accuracy cost?
Oh, divination spells on their own are very, very finicky. Without the right touch to them, let's say.
Moderately accurate?
Oh, well, that is certainly a measurement, one that I would wonder if your white unicorn friend over there would agree with is a good unit of measurement.
Moderately?
Fortissimo.
Yeah, good enough. That's what I always.
Before we get to that, though, we are paying patrons. Do you have a wand of healing?
Ooh, I have many wands. Oh, silly one.
What's your best wand of healing?
My best one. Oh, I don't think you'd have enough money for that one.
What's the best one that you think I have enough money for?
Thinks a little bit. Well, judging by your adventures here and things about you, and my knowledge of the ages. Oh, perhaps a wand of more moderate healings, I would say. You are one for, moderate information anyway? You can afford the mid-ground, yes?
I think so. What would you charge for it?
4,500.
Ah, gee.
Is it new?
Of course. Why would I give you an old wand? And out of
I don't
character,
know.
a new wand would give you 50 charges of cure moderate wounds.
Wow.
At this guy's caster level.
4.5K?
Caster level. What?
I'm just trying to think of a good way to ask what his caster level is in character.
How powerful of a wizard are you? How long have you been?
I require strongest potion.
I require your strongest wand.
Oh, you can't afford my strongest wand,
afford.
traveler.
I mean, just grab like 5 level 1 minor healing wands that have 50 charges. Like that's all we got to do.
Yeah.
And then a scroll so we can teach Fortissimo how to do it.
It's a waste of money. I can do this.
It would take me time to learn the spell too.
You know
I
what?
mean,
Do you have any minor healing wands?
Oh, you mean of the cuts and scrapes variety? Yes.
Yeah, I'll take one of those because my friend Orion here, he's better than any wand.
800.
Still too
700.
much.
What was that?
700.
No, that's too much.
What do you want to pay for it, Orion?
Nothing. Because when it comes to healing, I can do it.
Oh, would you rather trade?
But you can't heal us until tomorrow. And I've got
We're not
boo-boos
going
now.
to die until tomorrow.
That's what they all
good.
say.
We're getting into fidget spinning territory.
What?
Out of character, I think we should have at least one minor healing wand. What if you go down,
Not a
Orion?
bad idea.
Because it's going to get used up.
Yeah, but if we
uses.
teach Fortissimo the spell, he can just cast it every day.
Now,
Okay,
out of,
I'll just buy a- I'll just buy a scroll then.
out of
Yeah,
character,
for the
yeah.
scroll.
Oh, we can't do that.
If the thing you're getting is in scroll form, even if that spell is not normally on Fortissimo's list, he copies that into his book. Moderate and all the healing spells are part of the Bard spell list, which means that
Exactly.
Fortissimo, you can do that whole thing with the whole. You can use your book.
Do we need a
as, like,
wand for
higher
that, or
level
we can
things.
use a scroll for
I
that?
think
Scroll.
you have to use the
It's
spell.
almost like that's why I brought us here.
Okay,
Okay.
a scroll of cure light wounds.
Moderate.
Well,
Do we want to go for moderate?
moderate or light. Light would definitely be a worthwhile investment. Moderate is going to be very expensive.
You're right,
scroll,
because
and
the healing in combat isn't good anyways.
Yeah,
True.
so if for whatever reason Orion goes down, then Fortissimo can bring him back, or at least nurse him back to health, because his
With
heal
the light,
check is
yeah,
almost
yeah.
as good as mine. And Orion can dedicate his second level slots for healing extracts for the day, like he did on this day.
Do you have any of these wands in scroll form?
He seems to be a bit of thinking. Well, normally not. So, I've had a few donations from some patrons in the form of trading, and I might have a couple.
All I need is one.
And you're asking for the moderate?
I'm asking for the light.
Like,
Some of that Griffin Oive rubbed off on me.
There's a bit of a humming. Don't seem to have any of that one. I do, however, have moderate.
How much?
Yes, the moderate is going to cost you roughly about 375 gold pieces.
oh,
Deal.
Oh,
And she
hey.
purchases
Jeez.
375 gold from her pouch.
And if you're chucking that toward that glowing triangle in the middle, it would kind of float there, and the scroll floats out.
Do you want this in the triangle?
It's already floating away from you.
Okay, 350 gold?
Yep, 375.
75. Gotcha.
That's for the scroll, right?
Yep, and the
Yeah.
scroll floats outward towards you
25.
guys. Well, Electra specifically, because she's the one who paid for it. And there's a cackle. Use it wisely.
Thank you.
And yeah, you can copy that into your book. And it's those spells that you can use with that like Bard multi-class thing I told you, Fortissimo, because it's on the Bard spell list.
It's on the birds.
And even though it's not in your normal Arcanist spell list, it's still now in your book, and you'd be casting it from your Arcanist side. So because it's in the other one, and it's a second level spell, I believe it is, for you. You
Moderate,
just
yeah.
have to expend
Cure moderate.
Yeah, you just
Yes,
have to
cure
expend
moderate.
like 2 spell slots to cast that from your Arcanist,
Okay.
and you can cast it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know what, Mr. Tarrant?
Oh.
I think I'll take the wand too, the light one.
Oh, for the 750.
Sure.
And then toss it up.
It's full, right? It's new.
Mhm.
All right, here you go.
He's asked you to toss the gold up.
And she tosses it up.
And you toss it up, and the mishmash arrangement of gold suddenly circularizes in the air in a wand right through the center, and it just kind of plops down onto your hoof. And then all the gold retreats back into the back.
750.
Mm-hmm.
Based. And do I get any advice with that?
Oh, just for you for coming by so often. I will consult the cards. Oh, what do the cards have to say today? And there's one that kind of right out towards you.
She flips it over with her nose.
What does it tell you today? And on the card, seems to have the word Neb upon it. N-E-B. I know not what it says.
Letters?
I drew from the deck and sent it your way.
Neb.
Neb?
Okay. You can't help me at all with this?
Oh, I have no control over what the fates have told you.
Okay.
Silly Kieran, silly Kieran. Heed their
Well-
words, perhaps they may be important.
No.
Well, thank you, I guess.
Carry on. Hope to see you again. And may
You
fortune
might.
be with you.
Thank you, and also with you.
And with your spirit, Perry. You gotta do the white version. Oh boy. Alright, and with that, I think that would be a good time for us to stop session for today, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Let's get somewhere to sleep first. So
Yeah, let's just snooze. Let's get to a tavern. That way we're
Yep.
started up.
I'm assuming
Good to
tonight
go.
that you guys will be resting this night and then going on to your adventure the next day.
During
Yeah.
during the
Yeah,
during the night, Paper Cut is gonna attempt vigilante work, and that's basically it.
Nice. Alright, well go ahead and say bye to the recording. Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.